Welcome to Demasked. Today I'm joined by Spookyou. How are you today?
I am fantastic, Frez. How are you?
I'm doing very well. So, to the people at home who might not know, you are already I've already talked to you and another fellow by the name of Josh on the CS podcast.
That's correct. Yep.
Now,
We
I think I haven't re-interviewed somebody before, and I don't consider this a re-interview because I was talking to you guys about the CS podcast, but I didn't really get the chance to ask either of you about your sort of separate things.
Yeah.
So that's why we're here. That's why I've bothered you for another interview.
You're not bothering me. I love this. Frez, we did Mad Libs together. You can't bother me.
We're like brothers. Did Mad Libs.
Only closer. Yeah. No, I got really excited. You reached out and was like, you were like, hey, let me run this idea past you. And I was like, okay, shoot. And you were like, can I interview you? And I was like, what are you talking about? Yes, please.
You were like, no.
Yeah. No, who are you? New phone, who this?
I will for money.
Yeah.
But there's a question that's been plaguing me since, you guys first contacted me and I started to do research on the both of you. How did the idea of Barnabas come around?
Oh man, okay, that's a good question. So Barnabas started. He started off as a gift. So I've always just kind of had this fascination with puppets in general. I've got like this, and I'm planning on bringing this to the channel at some point in the future. But I've got like a flamingo puppet, like it's like a marionette, and I got it when I was, probably 8 or 9. And so fast forward, this was probably 5 or 6 years ago. So I'm like 23, 24. And I was like, I really want a puppet, like an actual, like shove my hand up the ass and make him talk puppet, And,
Specifically so.
Yeah. And, so I told my wife, I was like, this is what I want for Christmas. Like, if you don't get me anything else, this is what I want. And lo and behold, fast forward to Christmas, I open it up, there's Barnabas. So he started off as a gift, and I had this other podcast that I was doing called the Tom Worley podcast. And it's like a film noir, like just real gritty, like supernatural show. And I kind of toyed around with the idea of Barnabas then as a character. Not really as a puppet, just the name Barnabas Vixen and what that would mean. And the more I developed it, he was kind of this weird, kooky, like break the fourth wall kind of character. And I decided, I was like, he really doesn't fit for this podcast. And so I just shelved it. Like I was like, I don't know if I like this. And I moved on and started coming up with stuff with Spookyou. And I was like, I want to do horror narration. How do I set myself apart? And Barnabas came back. Like I was just, I don't know, something about it. He came back to mind, and I was like, what if I use the puppet? I was like, what if he intros and outros my videos, and that'll be Barnabas, like that'll be part of the shtick, And he started off real simple, just kind of, I wanted him to be kind of punny and kind of witty and goofy, like almost like the Crypt Keeper from Tales from the Crypt. Is very much a heavy inspiration for Barnabas there in regards to like his sense of humor. And then that's how it started. And then he just kind of evolved. There's really no other way to explain it than Barnabas just kind of took a life of his own. And I would sit there and write lines for him as I started doing things. And it would just kind of flow in this weird, like I was possessed by the soul of Barnabas, and he just flowed through the keys and into the computer, and that was that.
Well, see, that's where, like, the minute you're like, yeah, my wife got me this for Christmas, and I had this, like, horrifying image in my head of you opening this box with, like, the, the packing peanuts and all that, and just the face of Barnabas, like, sticking up through it, and all I hear is, like, Father.
How dare you? What? Shut that light out. Okay, sorry. Close the box back up.
Oh God. Have you ever played the game Splatterhouse?
No, I don't even know if I've heard of Splatterhouse.
So it used to be an old 2D side scroller, but it got a reboot on the Xbox 360 some years ago. And
Okay.
there's a line that, like, I imagine that was what it was like when you first, like, this is going to be terrible out of context, when you first stuffed your hand up Barnabas's ass.
Yeah.
Where the terror mask is talking to the main character, and he goes, if you show me some faith, if you put me on.
Please do be gentle.
As you're slowly making a closed fist, like, is this
Yeah. This is how you want me to do it? This is how it works, right?
how do I work the puppet if it
Yeah.
I don't
But that's the life of Barnabas, and now he kind of chills in my office and sits there and judges me anytime I work on something. He's like, when are you gonna get back to Spookyou? And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, cut me some slack. I'm working on it.
Dude, that would be a hell of a channel trailer.
Yeah. Just
Like, you just get done filming a CS podcast episode, and then you kind of look over, and he's just staring.
it's just like it keeps cutting back to him as I'm doing stuff, and he slowly gets closer. It's like a weird horror movie. I'm like,
we have work to do.
he sticks his hand up my ass and drags me away.
Dude, that would be an amazing, like, I know the time frame is now short, but that should be a fucking April Fool's photo.
Yes.
Happy April Fool's from Spookyou to, well, you. And it's like you sitting on his lap
With him.
while he's drinking a glass of water.
I have the little marks on like the little dummy marks pinned on my face for the mouth.
Your arms aren't in their sleeves, but there's like gloves at the end, so it looks all limp.
No joke, I've thought about for certain ideas that I have for like intros and things, buying like a Grinch outfit. Because it's green and furry, and getting like green gloves so that I could like, I could have like, I could actually articulate Barnabas's hands and his fingers and like grab stuff with it.
Okay, that's the thing is, in your description, that's not the image that was conjured in my head. How tall are you?
Me? So I'm 5'10".
So I'm imagining a 5'10" Barnabas. Like, you're like, I'm gonna get a Grinch outfit on. Like, then you glue like an orange nose on the front and put the eyes.
Yes.
then like film your wife walking in, like, the hell's wrong with you? You're like, we are one and the same.
Don't judge me.
Don't look at me.
Yeah. Look away.
Like, curled up in the corner.
Yeah.
Oh God. Like, she opens the door to your office, honey, do you need anything? You're just like, shut the door.
Why is it so dark? Why does it smell funny? What is that? I just skitter over to the door and shut it.
No, you go limp like it's Toy Story.
Edge coming.
You hear the doorknob jiggle, just thud.
Really? I need you to take out the trash. Can you please stop for 10 seconds? And I don't move.
I can't.
She just slams the door.
Fine. Grabs actual Barnabas and takes. Yeah. You take out the trash.
I don't get paid enough for this. He just storms off.
Oh, wait. Oh. God. I like puppets, but also puppets are horrifying. But it's like literally like one change in movement that it can change that whole tone.
Yeah, dude, my wife, she doesn't like puppets. She's like, it's kind of funny. Like, she tolerates Barnabas because he's Barnabas, and she's seen the videos and stuff. But even like, my daughter will grab him and run around and be like, "Oh, Barnabas," and be hugging him and like go to take him to Morgan. And she's like, "No, like I don't want him." Like, she's no, get him away from me.
I used to have this puppet way back when, and I really regret not having him now.
Yeah.
But it was this. It's one of those ones where like, I'm not sure how big Barnabas is.
He's about 2 foot. Like that's pretty accurate when I say he's a 2 foot tall green monster. He's about 2 foot.
Like head to foot, or is that the torso?
So head to foot. So he's a full body. Like he's got feet and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had this full body one that was, I want to say the torso was a little bit bigger, so you had to put like your whole forearm.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
In there, and it had like this gray, like a dirty gray fur.
Okay.
And it was hard to decipher what the hell it actually was. All I know is it had like the giant, Muppet mouth.
Yeah.
And I would just annoy the shit out of my dad with it. I'm like, "Hey, how's it going?" And he's like, "Oh,
not Rudy again. Oh God.
Not this."
I thought you grew out of this. Freshman, you're 19.
Oh God, if I rediscovered it now. Oh. Well, like I'm not a fan of like the wood-headed puppets like Slappy from Goosebumps.
Yeah. Those are a little more. They kind of creep me out. Maybe it's because of Goosebumps and Slappy.
well, like that, and those specific puppets are so consistently portrayed in media as evil.
Yeah.
Oh. So what? So what possessed you to start a YouTube channel?
So I've always kind of created, even when I was, probably, God, 10 to 12, somewhere around that age. My buddy and I, like my best friend growing up, we would recreate like Star Wars scenes and stuff like that. And like we had this little, tape camera, like it took little cassette tapes. And we would film it, and we'd make our own little like Star Wars videos and stuff like that. So I've always created, and he was really into. Oh, I can't think of the YouTube. It's a horror narrator. I don't know if they even still do stuff anymore. God, I'll have to ask him. But he was really big into a horror narrator when this was probably. Oh my God, probably 7-8 years ago now, and we would create our own narrations. Like he would write the story, and then we would both kind of like voice it. I'd voice the main character or whatever, and then we'd do side characters here and there, and just kind of do different voices for them. And we did that like very inconsistently, like one video every like 8 months or something. So I'd already been kind of doing that. And then the Tom Worley podcast, I created a YouTube channel for that and did like Spotify and iTunes. And then I just kind of like, that was a lot of, I had to write everything. Like it was all written by me. It was all sound effects heavy. Like just putting it together was a lot of work. And then one day, I think I was listening to Mr. Creepypasta, and I was like, I started really getting into it, and I was like, hey, I can do this. Like I've already kind of been doing it, and I was like, I don't have to write my own stories. I can reach out to authors and get permission and do it that way. And so that's kind of where Spookyou started and why I ended up doing it in the first place. I was like, it was a creative outlet for me to, be able to burn some of that creative energy, and I don't know. It's been fun. It's harder to do it now with my daughter just because, you sit there, start recording something, and then, hey, and then you have to stop recording, go do whatever. So it makes it a little bit more difficult. So that's a big reason why I've kind of taken a step back, is just trying to find the time to actually work on stuff. But But that's the big reason why. Is I was like, it was just a creative outlet.
Well, there you go. Well,
Yeah.
So you mentioned filming Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
I had this horrifying flashback just now.
Okay.
Somewhere out there, and I'm almost certain that it will never appear on YouTube. It's in a box somewhere at, I believe, my dad's house, where I was like 8, recreating the opening to Army of Darkness.
Nice. That can't be. That should be like a 100th episode Demasked special. You should re-upload re-upload. You should upload it. You should digitize it.
And then I gotta like cover my face the entire time.
Yeah, you have to go into Premiere After Effects. You have to trace your face, throw the mask on there.
I like, yeah, like, how do I work the thing is, for all how terrible that video is, I had an amazing prop, I will say.
Okay.
Because I had the collector's edition of the first Evil Dead, which is a recreation of the Necronomicon.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, but it's like that's whole
nice.
book.
Do you remember what you shot it on? Was it like a tape, or like a cassette tape, like camera?
I am almost certain it was a cassette tape.
Nice.
Because that was like what, 2004 or something.
Oh, then yeah, I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
Man, they just don't make them like they used to.
What fan films or cameras?
Yes.
You know what? Fair.
Speaking of, this is random and off topic, but speaking of like cassette tapes, and have you into Archive 81 at all?
I think I've heard of them.
So apparently it was a podcast originally. I didn't know that. I watched it. It's on Netflix, and it's about a guy that
oh yeah,
he's like repairing old VHS tapes and like watching them and documenting like what's on them, and it's like a horror podcast or a horror show. It's also a podcast. Because I remember when it finished, I Googled it because I was like, oh, when's the next season? And it was like podcast Archive 81, and I was like, do they just happen to share the same name? I was like, is it based off a podcast? It's based off a podcast, which is done now, but it's all very good. Just on the trail of cassette tapes and old camcorders. Made me think of that.
So I just read something deeply upsetting.
Okay.
So I have heard of Archive 81. In fact, I watched how do I word it? If I don't feel like watching an entire show or trying to hunt down a specific film,
yeah,
I go to Foundflix.
Okay.
The YouTube channel, because he does like explains things on endings and whatnot.
It's like a Cliff Notes, but for TV.
Yeah, like he kind of goes over a generalized run through of what the show's about and sort of what occurs in the show. Like it's very spoiler heavy. But he did one on,
I'll have to check that out.
But he did it on Archive 81, and as you were talking about them, I'm like, maybe I should watch it. And then I go and look, and the first thing I see is the top story here is Archive 81 canceled by Netflix after one season.
Yes, I saw that today, I think. I was like, the clickbait title's like, fan favorite show canceled by Netflix. And I never click on the article. I always go to the comments. I'm like, I'm not going to skim through that. And yeah, they were like, Archive 81. And I was like, no! That's the first one that ever got me that I was like, what?
Dude, the one that got me was a Mindhunter. You ever see that one?
No, it's on my watch list, though. I want to see it.
Good.
It was real good. Oh, man, you should watch it.
It's I believe it's two whole seasons, and the season 2 is like, can't wait for more, and then it got canceled.
Yeah, man, that's just kind of the thing nowadays, right? Is Netflix is throwing so much at the wall with all these different originals and whatever that they're doing that they don't give it time. They don't give it time to breathe. It's just like, oh well, it didn't hit what we needed it to hit. 99% liked, so scrap it.
Well, then you get other. I'm not even sure if it was a Netflix property, but it's a show that I mean, forgive me if you enjoy the show, but the Shannara Chronicles.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I've never seen it. I've wanted to watch it just because, like, the description looks interesting.
I was I watched one episode and was able to guess every major plot point.
Oh no. Okay, well.
Like, you ever meet a character that they're being way too nice, and then you're like, oh, they're gonna probably die.
Yeah, they're dead.
That happened. It's like, oh, I love you so much. I'm like, oh, they're dead. It's over. This is done.
Yeah.
Like, so did you play Last of Us Part 2?
I am about halfway through The Last of Us Part 2. I am. Where did I stop?
What do you think?
I don't hate it. Like, it got a lot of bad press and everything, but like, so here's my take. I'm enjoying the story. I just am not a big fan of the gameplay loop. Like, it hasn't changed any since The Last of Us, the first one, came out in like what, 08, 09. Yep. So I don't know. Just that type of gameplay. Like, it's the same gameplay in like Uncharted and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I don't know. They could have done something to spice it up a bit, but like the story's pretty good so far from what I've seen.
How do I word it? There's something that I enjoy about narrative things that fall flat.
Yeah.
That make it all the funnier to me when it's taken seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a spoiler. I'm not going to spoil anything for you.
Okay.
But apparently during the development of the game, they're like, well, we added names to all of the henchmen that you fight throughout the game, so it sort of makes you feel something when you're taking out these bad guys, because they'll call out, hey, Trevor, where'd you go, man?
Yeah.
And then I played it, and I'm like, I feel nothing. I'm like, they're going to die regardless. It's
yeah, I'm going to murder them. I don't care if I know his name or not.
I'm like, in fact, they're calling out names. Like, now I know who else I'm going to hunt down.
Now you're looking for Trevor.
Yeah.
You put a bullet in Trevor, and you're like, yeah.
As I'm stabbing somebody, I'm like, are you Trevor?
Are you? No? Oh, he's next room over? Oh, okay, sorry. Your name?
IDs.
Max? Yeah. You pickpocket them before it's like Skyrim or something. You like sneak up behind a pickpocket, look at their ID. Not Trevor. You put it back in their pocket and keep going. You find Trevor, and then it's like Fallout. You find Trevor, and then you slip a landmine in there with the and then just walk away and let him blow up.
So okay. You said you're about halfway through?
Yes, I think so.
Can you describe to me where you are?
So, I'm trying to figure out where I left off. It's been a couple of months since I played it. It was one of those like I played it heavily and then kind of put it down. Hold on, let me think. So, this will be spoilers for everybody if you're listening to this, so skip ahead if you haven't played Last of Us 2.
Yep.
I think I'm past I think I found Tommy again.
Okay.
So like well past, we found out that oh god, what's her name? She's pregnant. She's gone back with old dude back to the main camp or whatever, and yeah, I think I went through like a museum or something and found Tommy or whatever it was some kind of big whatever.
So Dina being pregnant.
Dina, that's her name. Thank you.
So Dina being pregnant. So me and a friend of mine were playing it, like started taking turns playing it, like on one TV, on one console.
Yeah.
And, early in the game, she's getting, like, progressively more and more sick.
Uh-huh.
And we're like, well, Ellie and her are a couple. And I turn to my friend and go, wouldn't that be stupid if she was, like, pregnant? And then cut to, I'm pregnant. We're like, oh.
What?
We're like, oh, come on. What do you mean? Oh. Like it, yeah. There are certain points in that story where it's just like, and it's not even like I have a bred hatred of the game or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just like, man, this would be dumb if this happens, followed by it immediately happening. Well, oh.
I do that watching like TV shows or something like that. Man, you know, if I wrote this, there'd no like I'd take it this direction, and then like it goes a completely different direction, and I'm like, oh, that's dumb. Like, like the complete opposite. Like oh yeah, you know, I'd have, I don't know, her get bitten by a thing, and then it's like she's pregnant, and I'm like, what?
Most of the characters in the show would be dead by now.
Yeah, right. I love a show that doesn't pull punches.
However, I'm not a fan of like the Game of Thrones version where it's like they're gonna die for like shock value.
Yeah,
but
yeah, it needs to have like an impact on that overall story, not just like, haha, you like this character, fuck you.
Yeah, I do, but I do like sort of that weird impermanence that some shows have.
Yeah,
like The Boys. I like The Boys.
I like The Boys too. I need to finish season 2. I didn't think season 2 was as good as season 1. I'm gonna say that. That might be a hot take, but I was like, I binged the hell out of season 1, like really enjoyed it, and then season 2 for some reason, I don't know if it was the pacing. Like the characters were all great, still like it's still the same characters, but just something about it didn't have that same charm. I still like it. It's just for some reason I couldn't sit and binge it. Like I'd watch an episode or two and then I'd come back to it, and that's just kind of how it's been. But I do want to. I need to get caught up because season 3, you've got Jensen Ackles as Soldier Boy, and I am excited about that.
Supernatural fan, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, yeah, just a little bit.
I have yet to watch Supernatural, but
that's fair.
Maybe.
It's I semi grew up on it. My brother was really big into Supernatural. And he's about 14 years older than me. So I remember him watching it and me being completely terrified of some of the scenes. But as I got older, it was just kind of that draw. Like, it's a show about two brothers. And so like my brother is a huge Supernatural fan, so it just seemed natural, Like I don't know, I just started watching it, and it's kind of like, I don't know, it was kind of a cool bond between me and my brother, like me getting into it when I'm now older and can appreciate it. Yeah.
Like what is it? I used to work at a place that had like the TVs on all the time.
Yeah.
And so like on one TV there's a random episode of Supernatural.
It's always random. They'll do like season 3 episode 12, and then the next episode will be like season 9 episode 3.
Yep.
And you're like, wow, okay, what happened from point A to point B to get us here?
Yeah. Well, like then I looked over at another TV and it's playing the TV show Bones.
Oh my god, my mom. My mom loves Bones. I remember my mom. She like tore her Achilles. She like stepped on a skateboard, didn't know it was there, and fell. She's 70, and she was laid up in the bed for a while. But all she did was watch Bones, but she doesn't remember any of it because she was on oxys for the pain. So
this show's great.
She watched the whole thing, and now she goes back and she still loves Bones, and she'll go back and watch it. And I'm like, "You've seen this?" She's like, "What?" And I was like, "You watched the whole series." She's like, "I don't remember that." And I was like, "I know you don't remember that, but you watched the whole series."
Well, it's some, how do I word it? It's a thing with like cop procedural shows where it's like, we gotta go find a suspect. Let's find the strangest person we can talk to.
Yeah, yeah.
And I used to be a fan of The Walking Dead, and apparently a lot of the actors from that show were in Bones.
Really?
Well, like, there's a moment where they're talking. I don't know why the episode that we were like that was playing in the break room had to be the weirdest. Like, we're looking for this victim. We have his skeleton, of course,
Yeah.
but it's like, oh, he was part of this weird like BDSM horseplay sex club, and like they're talking to like the head of the sex club, and it's the guy who plays Abraham, the redheaded guy.
Okay. Interesting.
But he looks the same as he does in The Walking Dead. He has the same hair, the same handlebar mustache. He's just walking around whipping people.
That's what he does in his spare time when you don't see him on screen in The Walking Dead.
Well, I'm sitting there like, is that Abraham? He's like, yes, he was one of our finest constituents. As he's like, whap me. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, is this what he was doing before the outbreak?
That's yeah. That's why he's so good with his hands.
That's why he acts all gruff. He's like, as long as they don't bring it up.
Yeah. Abraham, what'd you do before the outbreak? Just shoots the guy.
Soldier. Equestrian.
Equestrian, yeah.
What was that? So, if you had to recommend any TV shows in their current form, what would they be?
Ooh, that's a big question. Any like genre, like can it be live action? Can it be cartoon? Any TV show?
Let's shoot for live action.
Okay, so my wife and I are really big into Grimm. Now it's since been. Is that what you like? You say in its current form? You mean currently running or just?
Sure. Or if it left on a good note, I suppose.
Oh, it left. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the ending. It is since been completed. I think it's got 6 seasons. But so I was going to lead into like I'm not a big fan of like cop shows like your Law and Order, your NCIS, like they just don't hold my attention, and it just seems like it's the same thing every episode. Like kind of like you were talking to, you got to go find the weirdest person to talk to, and we got to find that we got this guy's bones, like
yeah,
just not my thing. But Grimm is one that I actually got into, and if you don't know anything about Grimm, it's about an officer named Nick Burkhart, and I think he's with Portland PD, and he is what is called a Grimm. So he can see these creatures called Vessin, and basically it's kind of like your Grimm fairy tales. So you've got like the big bad wolf. They're called Blutbots. You know, they're like wolf creatures. So all these creatures are called Vessin, and it's all like German. It's pretty cool though. Like and he has the ability to see these things. They look like normal people to you and I, but like I guess if they get stressed out or if their emotions run high, a Grimm can see them. Like like their visage falters. It's pretty cool. That's one of the only cop shows that I've really gotten into. Aside from that, I really like on Netflix, especially the first season. Now, the second season, and especially the third season, is kind of Hemlock Grove is really good. And you will notice, if you watch Hemlock Grove, one of the main characters, Roman, who's a vampire, is Bill Skarsgård, who played Pennywise in the new It. Yeah. So that's where I saw him first, was that, and then It came out, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's Roman!" Like, But that's a great show. I'm trying to think what else. Like, I kind of go through phases where I watch a lot of TV, and then I just don't watch TV at all. I don't know if you're that same way.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned Grimm, because for a long time, and it got to be an annoyance, because I live in the same city that show is filmed.
Okay.
That it was the same sentence every time that show was brought up. Oh, look, a new season of Grimm's coming. They filmed that in Portland. Like, yes, I'm aware. Like, I can see the fucking skyline in the promotional material.
I live there.
Yeah. Like, we're standing downtown right now.
Yeah.
And, like, I kind of wish I, like, walked in on, like, the set.
you just in the background. Just you with your Fresman mask. Just in the background.
I'm an extra yelling at another extra that I know that the show's filmed here.
You do the whole like John Travolta from Pulp Fiction, like you just walk by with your mask, just kind of look, kind of turn around, just wander out of scene.
Or do the Ron Jeremy from Ghostbusters? You kind of wander up and you're just kind of pointing.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Ghostbusters. And you probably know where I'm leading with this.
I was worried there for a second. You're like, speaking of Ron Jeremy, like, no.
Yeah, speaking of the old Falcon,
the hedgehog.
Yeah. have you seen the new Ghostbusters game?
Ghostbusters game?
Yeah, it's a 4v1 asymmetric, like Dead by Daylight or Friday the 13th. It's actually made by the same people that made Friday the 13th and Predator Hunting Grounds. But it's yeah, but it's yeah. I wasn't too thrilled with Friday the 13th, and then I was kind of let down with Predator Hunting Grounds. But hey, I'm gonna be optimistic. Maybe Ghostbusters is gonna be great.
No,
but
it's not even that. Like, how do I word it? There's the Ghostbusters game from, like, I want to say 2010.
Yes.
Where it, like, you're not playing as the main 4 or 5 if you count Rick Moranis.
Yeah, you play as like a new hire or whatever.
Yeah, and like that setup I love.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're the new guy. You got to deal with these, like, veterans of.
Yeah.
And what I love, and what I love is, like, you in that game you go to, like, the ghost dimension.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yeah, whatever. And your character's like, oh shit. Like, but I don't know. I don't. Maybe not. I mean,
the trailer looked all right. So you do play as, like, you're not one of the 4 or 5, from the movie. It seems like you're just like, because I don't think you see the character. I don't know. Maybe when you go to the menu you can customize your character. I don't know. Everything was in first person when they showcased the trailer.
Okay.
But then you would they brought back Dan Aykroyd and oh my God, Ernie.
Ernie Hudson.
Yeah. So they're in the game. They kind of help guide you, and so that obviously sets up. Hey, you're not playing as any of the guys from the movie. It seems like you're your own entity. And then of course somebody can play as the ghost.
Now, the fact that it's in first person already gives me hope.
Yeah, it looks pretty. Yeah.
Well, no, in terms of, like, I don't think this could work with, like, the same camera angles that Friday the 13th had.
Yeah.
Because, like, you would just have too much in a field of vision.
Mm-hmm.
But to close it off to the first person, okay.
Yeah, I definitely recommend at least just checking the trailer out. It looks interesting.
So you said you were let down by Predator Hunting Grounds?
Yeah, and this, like, I love Predator. Like, he's one of my favorite, like, I guess if you could consider it a horror movie. Like I was always terrified of horror movies growing up, but, like, something drew me to the Predator, and I love to just watch him rip people apart, as morbid as that is. So, I've always had kind of a soft spot for the Predator, like, series. And
well, like, I knew we were friends. Because as you're saying that, right above my desk, I'm pointing at it, but you can't see, I've got a figure of the Predator from Predator 2.
Oh, nice.
Still in his box, but he's hanging up on my wall.
Yeah.
But I was also let down by Hunting Grounds, but I feel like it might be a different reason.
Okay, what's your reasoning?
Well, from what I heard, a lot of people's like disappointment came from like the gameplay loop.
Yeah.
Mine was from the unlockables for the Predators.
There's not a whole... Well, there is if you pay for it.
Well, it's not that. It's just a lot of the newer designs for stuff suck. They're just bad.
Yeah, like, I think there was maybe... Now, granted, I played it on release and haven't really touched it since.
Mm.
But at the time, and even in the beta, there was maybe 2 helmet, like, paint jobs that I liked. Or, you know, like, overall, like, paint skins that I liked. Out of... There's probably, 10 or 12? Maybe a little bit more. Probably more now that they've added on stuff, and it's been a while. I feel like I always used... Like, I went through the masks, and I was like, okay, like, these are... I think I liked 1, maybe 2 masks that weren't the default. You know? So I feel you there. My main criticism, and I guess hopefully they balanced it, like the Predator is so squishy. like I want to play as the Predator, and like I feel like I get hit with 1 bullet and I'm dead, and I'm like, man, he used to... I don't know. I was very disappointed with how the Predator played and how easy it was to win as a fire team, especially if you had like a full, like 4 teams, that like 4 people that kind of knew what they were talking. Even if they didn't, like, it would irk me. Like, the Predator would come up on me when I was in the fire team, and I'd pull out a shotgun and blast him like 3 or 4 times, and he'd he'd have to run away. And I was like, wow, okay. There was just like no threat. Well, then, I never felt scared as a fire team.
Well, then when you're low level, you get down so easy. Like, as the fire team, like, most of my rounds were spent on the floor.
Really? So, granted, this was more so in the beta than when the full game came out, but like when I played, I feel like anytime I'd play as fire team, I don't know if we ever had a guy get downed.
Well, you're a better man than I.
Well, that could have been kinks that were worked out of the beta, and then in the full release they fixed some of that. I still feel like when I played a couple of games of the full release, it wasn't much better. But yeah, that was my experience. Like, anytime I played in the fire team, like, we just ripped through the Predator. Especially, dude, if you got him with a sniper rifle, holy shit, he was dead. Like, you run around with a sniper rifle and a shotgun, and you may as well. He may not even exist. You're just running through mowing down AI at that point.
Oh God, do you remember? Did you ever play? This will wrap around, I swear.
Okay.
But did you ever play Ghost Recon Wildlands?
Yes.
Did you ever play the Predator mission?
No, I didn't even realize there was a Predator mission for it.
So a while after that game came out, they started releasing like DLC events.
Yeah. And
some of them kind of tie into the larger story. Like there's a Splinter Cell one, because it's
that's cool.
Made by Ubisoft, and you actually get to go hang out with Sam Fisher and all this.
Oh, that's cool.
But then I think the mission was literally called A Noise in the Jungle.
Okay.
And like, they don't really tell you what it is until you get there and you start hearing that clicking, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And like, he's in the trees, and he's actually like they got it right, and he's actually difficult.
Yeah.
And like, the more you hurt him, like, the more desperate he gets. So like, he's starting to uncloak more and just straight up try to like stab you with his combi stick.
Yeah, dude, that's so awesome.
It's terrifying.
That's how it should be. That's how you should feel when playing against the Predator. Did you ever play Predator Concrete Jungle? It was for the PS2. It was like a third person. You just played as the Predator.
Yeah. So
Oh, God.
I can't believe how hard that game leans into the Alien versus Predator set of events.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we have these friends from our friends at Weyland-Yutani.
Yeah.
And she just opens a hatch, and like a shitload of xenomorphs come crawling out. Like,
God,
oh, that's what we're doing today.
I remember playing that game so much growing up, and I was so bad at it because I just didn't get it as a kid.
Yeah.
But God, I missed that game. And then I remember the original. I guess it's the original AVP. Like from like 2000, like 4 or something. It's something.
Let's look. Let's see how old we are.
Right. But man, I had more fun playing as the aliens in that game, like skittering across the walls and stuff. Oh man, that was wild. Might be 2002.
So the film came out in 2004.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and guess it came out within a year of that game. Man, I don't care what anybody says. I actually quite like. I don't like Requiem as much, but I actually really like AVP.
So I do too. Like I really enjoyed it. It was just fun. Like them fighting, and I don't know. It was kind of weird. The Predator teaming up with what's her face, but it was still entertaining. Like, and especially like I watched that. So that was 2004. I was 11 when that movie came out. So, you know, like I was young, so like to me I was like, oh, this is cool. Like I don't care about plot. I don't understand plot. This is cool. Like the visuals are awesome.
well, it's like the same thing, the same reason I like how I walk into Marvel movies. It's like I'm not here if there is an amazing story, cool.
Yeah.
But I'm here for the characters mostly.
That's like Transformers, right? You don't watch Transformers for the story. You watch it because Big Boss beat Big Metal Head thingy.
Look,
know?
Hugo Weaving as Megatron. Look.
Yeah, right?
That said, I don't think anything could ever beat the way they're like yelling each other's names in the first Transformers film.
Yeah. The first Transformers film has a soft place in my heart, like a special place. Like I don't know. Again, I was younger when I watched it, but I don't know. It was pretty cool to see that on the big screen and all the.
Was it Megan Fox? It was probably Megan Fox.
It was totally Megan Fox or Toe Thumbs.
I watch it for the plot.
The plot. No, I watched it because of old Shia LaBeouf because I was an Even Stevens kid.
Yeah, you know what? You got me there. Yeah, that's a good one.
I think about him from time to time and just like, what is Shia LaBeouf up to these days? And then
actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
I was gonna say I have that. I quote that more often than I probably should. He's following you about 30 feet back. I love that song so much.
You're all turned around and your phone is dead.
Shia LaBeouf.
I love the full version of that with the choir where it's like his head falls to the floor expressionless.
Yes. I have it. I'm not ashamed to say that I have that full version on my Spotify playlist. Like occasionally when I'm driving around, that will come on and it's incredible.
The guy who made that song, Rob Cantor.
Yeah.
He has a couple other songs that are just fucking favorite. Is Christian Bale Is at Your Party?
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Dude, it's really good. And there's another song which isn't a mocking a celebrity song, but it's just a genuinely good song called Perfect.
Okay. Which
I genuinely will go and listen to once in a while.
All right, I've got Christian Bale pulled up. I'm going to listen to it after this interview. I'm pretty excited.
But Christian Bale strikes me as the kind of guy that none of the hype, as it were.
Uh-huh.
Not the hype that he's created, but media outlets. He's insane. He's weird, sure, but he's probably fine.
Yeah, yeah. Well, media outlets like the paparazzi and stuff, they like to, what's the word I'm looking for? Over exaggerate on that kind of stuff.
Well, like what was it, the National Enquirer, where it's like Pierce Brosnan, 98 pounds and dying. and then you see him during an interview, and he's like, looks perfectly fine.
He looks like James Bond, you know.
He looks the best he's ever been.
Yeah.
Or it's like, Ryan Reynolds' final days.
Yeah. Yeah. God, I still I think about that sometimes. Like, I'll walk through a grocery store and see those magazines, up at the front counter or whatever, like where you check out. And I'm like, who buys those? And then, you know who buys those? My mom buys those. I don't. I've seen her come home with stuff like that. I'm like, what are you reading? Why? I was like, why did you buy that? Why did you spend money on that?
Because Pierce Brosnan is dying.
Yeah, he's 98 pounds. Can't you see him? Yeah, I can see the brush strokes where they use the clone tool on him to make him fucking.
Look at this blurry photo of maybe Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah, it's just Bigfoot.
It's Bigfoot, but with like the head from one of the 007 posters.
Yeah.
The gold eye, you can clearly see like part of the hand with the gun.
You can still see the fucking barrel. They didn't even fully Photoshop it out.
Now Bigfoot has a gun. Now what?
Yeah. Now what? Checkmate, atheist.
So, speaking of Bigfoot, I heard a theory about that old photo.
Okay.
So personally, I'm not a believer in Bigfoot, and I love hearing stories where it's like, he kicked in the wall of my cabin.
Yeah.
But somebody brought up the point that around the time that photo was taken, the idea of furries already kind of existed. Not
God, no.
so not in its current form with like the rainbow suits and the big happy faces, but people did dress up as animals, and there's even photos of people in like dog suits where it's like a full like fuzzy suit and they're on their
like The Shining.
Yeah. And the guy next to him is dressed as Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
But
it's a party.
Yeah. The greatest party of all time. But,
yeah.
But somebody brought up like that could very well be a guy in like a gorilla fursuit just kicking it in the woods.
That's what I believe now. I love that. Like, maybe he went to go get some water. He was having like rough, angry, like gorilla sex with his whoever. And he's just going down to the river to get some water. And that's why he looks so like offended by the picture when he turns, he looks, and he's just like, I'm not even going to deal with you right now. Like,
let's take a selfie. And he's like, no, I'm going back to the car.
Yeah.
Don't you take a picture of me. Click. Oh, damn it. Like, after hearing that theory, I'm like, that's probably what that precise thing is.
Yep.
Well, like how Miss People took the Loch Ness Monster, but it was like a log.
Yeah.
Did you hear the new theory about one of the photos of the Loch Ness?
No.
So, the standing theory is that they're like, we took this photo of the Loch Ness Monster near the ocean. And then somebody goes, that is suspiciously shaped like a whale's dick.
Oh,
so they're thinking that a whale turned over.
And breached.
Yeah, breached his lower half. So they're like, look, it's the head and neck of the Loch Ness Monster.
Oh, it's the head, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh, that's better than Bigfoot being a furry. You heard it here, folks. Hard-hitting news. Tonight at 11.
Telling you the truth.
Yeah.
Well, what was the... Oh, God. Like... This is a strange question to ask somebody, but do you believe in any like cryptids?
I very much enjoy the idea of them. I don't know if I'd go so far as to say I necessarily believe that they exist. I don't know. I mean, it's a big world. Anything could be possible, you know? I try to keep an open mind. But I don't know. It's one of those things like there's so many different like evidence for and against it out there. You just kind of have to draw your own conclusions, and I really don't know if we'll ever know the truth. Like, you know what I mean? Especially with, you know, it's 2022 and all the different just thermal imaging that we have, and everybody has a camera in their pocket now. It's like, how have we not found any hard evidence? You know, the best evidence we really have is from a video camera in 1950. You know, two guys out in the woods. So I don't know. I would hope so. Like, I think it would be really cool if stuff like that existed. Like, it would open up a whole new world of possibilities, but I don't know. I'm not going to hold my breath on it. It's not something I lose sleep over.
Unlike me, who stays awake.
All I do.
I don't sleep, I wait.
we take a look inside your room. You've got like 12 monitors, and it's like from like a movie. Like, you've got one with like a tracking device, and it's like a grayscale like map with like a red dot on it, and it's like you've got all these different algorithms running in the background.
In the center of this web of conspiracy of photos of UFOs and that photo of Bigfoot, right in the center is Pierce Brosnan, 98 pounds and dying. He's at the center of all this, I'm certain.
You did this. I know he's connected somehow.
The National Enquirer is covering the truth.
You look like that, like that meme from It's Always Sunny.
Oh, yeah.
Your hair's all whacked out. You've got your mask on. You're like, there was a 2-month time gap between Tomorrow Never Dies and Goldeneye. I know he had time.
Why did The World Is Not Enough have to come out on the specific day?
If you take those numbers, you add them all together, you know what it comes up to? 75. The importance of 75. There's been 75 actual reported confirmed sightings of Bigfoot since his known existence in 1922.
And if you times it by 5, it makes 666, the number of the devil. And they're like, well, that's incorrect. You're like, no.
I did the math. I checked it. I double checked it.
Math is lying to you.
Numbers aren't real.
Everything's real if you believe it hard enough. I love like seeing like UFO videos is a big one.
Yeah.
I love seeing UFO videos debunked.
Mm-hmm.
But the answer is like incredibly simple.
Yeah.
And like, you ever watch Captain Disillusion?
I know who you're talking about, and I've seen a handful of clips from him, but I don't think I've ever actually sat down and watched.
So he covered a paranormal event of a city floating over China.
Oh, I know. Well, I haven't seen that video, but I know the city floating over China. Like, I know that whole thing. I know what you're talking about.
So back when that video came out, he's like, look, it's so... He's like, look, it's really simple to make that effect.
Yeah.
And then the next day I go into work, and one of my friends is like, oh my God, look at this clip of the city floating over China. And it's that exact fucking clip.
You're like, boy, do I have a video for you. You just pull out your phone.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm going to need you to type in floating city into YouTube, and just the first thing he sees is the Captain Disillusion one. He's like, oh, it's not real? I'm like, no.
I'm subscribed to the ghosts subreddit just to see people post videos of like debris floating past their night cam. And people in the comments going ham on it, being like, "Man, it's just a piece of dust." Like just ripping into it. It's so much fun to read that stuff.
Okay, so there's a Twitter account out there. So I am going to not confirm or deny any actual evidence, quote unquote evidence, that this person brings forth.
Okay.
In case they happen to listen to this.
Yeah.
What is, if I recall, it's called Living with Ghosts.
Okay.
And what it is photos and like short videos of just shots of random areas of their house.
Oh, God.
And in almost every photo there is like, there's nothing there. And I think they're editing more and more stuff into photos because it's getting more and more prevalent.
Yeah. I wonder if this... Yeah. I don't know if shared this last night, or is it Living with Ghost, like just single? Sorry for the noise in the background. We've got a bunch of kids over at the house right now. Living with Ghost. Yeah, I don't know if shared this last night or at all. And yeah, it's like, I don't even know what that is on the side table. It looks like a coffee maker.
I'm staring at a
Ain't saying it's for sure, but it looks as if something is... This has to be satire, right?
And I'm seeing the phrase "you're gonna shit." And the thing is,
last night around 2 a.m. or this morning if preferred. It's gotta be, right? It's gotta be satire.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, the thing is, I'm not a stickler for grammar.
Yeah.
But "you're gonna shit" using the improper "you're." This is "you're gonna shit."
The red... I love the red arrow is pointing at the top of the tree, and the caption is, "The red arrow points at the top of the tree." I live here. I think I know my house and my stuff, and I know what's beyond the tree. This is great.
Looking at a photo of their shattered phone, here's the phone the footage is on of answering yes that it's causing me to have ejaculations in my sleep. One time I actually woke up and thought it was my old lady. I pretended to be asleep, asked her about it, but claimed it wasn't her. Do I have a succubus or incubus?
Have you...
This has got to be...
It's got to be satire. I just found that one, too. Have you seen... You probably, with your Rolodex, I know you have to know what I'm talking about. It's like a fake movie trailer of like a horror movie of the ghosts. They get locked inside the house with this ghost, and the ghost like...
Oh, God.
Sorry. The ghost jerks them off. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, you know what? I don't think I do, but I'm having flashbacks to the moment in Ghostbusters.
Let's see. Trailer. My buddy showed it to me, and I can't believe this. Just seems like something like, I was like, if anybody's seen Handjob Cabin is what it's called.
What's it called?
Handjob Cabin. I don't think it's a real movie. I think, oh no, it is a real movie. 2015. Oh my God. It's a real movie. I thought it was fake. Oh, okay. 3 minutes. Never mind.
Just going to put that into my...
I'm going to put that in my search history real quick. It's so funny. It's such a good satire, like horror trailer. 3 minutes. It's worth your time. You should watch it. It's funny. It's so serious. Oh man, I can't believe I found something like that screamed freshman. As bad as that sounds, I was like he knows what
I'm glad that that's what you think of when you see things like
Oh, Handjob Cabin? Yeah, Fresman, Demasked.
He knows.
It's got Mark Duplass in it. He knows.
He's got that full frontal Mark Duplass in it.
Yeah. That's the climax scene.
He's the main villain.
Yeah. That's the plot twist. They unmask the female ghost like a Scooby-Doo, and it's Mark Duplass.
Oh.
Oh.
You know what? Fine.
There's a plays Fratty Dan as Jareb. It almost looks like it says Duplass. It's Dauplais.
Duplass.
Yeah, Jareb Duplass.
So close.
It's so close.
Sweet serendipity.
It's meant to be.
The stars have aligned in my favor. Oh. You know, like, you know what? No, I got nothing. Like, am I surprised? No, I'm not surprised. I once saw a never mind. Never mind. You know,
No,
I'm
no, I
gonna
wanna
double
know.
down. I once saw a low budget film, and it was pseudo serious.
Okay.
But the idea was, you take a guy out into the woods, and you sacrifice him
Okay.
to the Yeti.
Okay.
Now, what does that entail?
Okay.
The Yeti. Let's just say doos him to death.
Oh my god. Death by snoo snoo. Okay.
Exactly. But it like the movie starts with that. I'm like, all right, what's the rest of the film look like? It is just like a bunch of dudes like hanging out, like we should sacrifice somebody to the Yeti.
Really makes you look at all those messing with Sasquatch commercials in a different light.
Dude, I so badly wanted one of those commercials, like, haha, messing with Sasquatch, and he just like shears the guy in half. Like, there's no like, haha, beef jerky. Just, ah! Oh. Yeah. Did you ever see that video of, and this is slightly, not now, it's on topic, I guess, of Stan Lee talking about who wins in fights in comics?
No.
Excuse me. He's just sitting there. He goes. It has nothing to do with the actual characters.
Uh-huh.
It's the writers who decide who wins.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So he's like, so the argument of who would win is pointless because the writers are going to decide who wins regardless. And
yeah,
that's hilarious to me. Of like years, like 30, 40 plus years of like, well, Batman could beat Superman.
Yeah.
And then it's like, no, Superman would stop Batman. And then the writer's like, fucking Batman wins.
Yeah, because we say so.
Yeah.
Infinite prep time.
He's got a, he's got a kryptonite ring.
Yeah. He had kryptonite surgically implanted into his jawbone, so that when Superman punched him, it'd break his wrist.
I follow a Dragon Ball Z fan page.
Yeah.
And I see that argument every fucking day.
Oh, Superman and Goku?
Superman and Goku, or Goku and Saitama from One Punch Man. I'm so tired of seeing it.
Yeah. Well, and like, I mean, isn't the whole punch of Saitama in One Punch Man? He can beat anybody in one punch. Like that's yeah. So I don't know how you beat him.
Well, that and the thing that nobody seems to take into account, because they're talking about the fight as if they like ran into each other in a field, right?
Yeah, they just randomly they started squaring each other up outside the ramen noodle shop. Like yeah.
But the thing is, Saitama nor Superman need to power up.
That's a good point.
So if they just ran into Goku
and just decked him,
just push his hand through Goku's chest.
Yeah. He's already died to a heart problem once.
Yeah. Just, you go to shake his hand and you just kind of keep putting your hand through him.
Yeah.
But that nobody considers that. They're like, no, he'd go Ultra Instinct in like a second. I'm like, he fucking exploded when he went Ultra Instinct.
Right.
Yeah. But what do I know, except I do a lot of research. But what do I know?
Yeah.
Whatever.
I always see those. Yeah. I see a lot of them. Any of them, they'd be like if Darth Vader and Batman ran into each other, who would win? And I was like, are you, what? I was like, he'd snap his neck. Like, force choke him and
over.
kill him.
Or I love the argument for Batman where it's like, well, if he had prep time.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always, yeah. Don't get me wrong. I like Batman. But I hate that prep time argument so much.
Or I hate the counter argument of like, oh, you'd win because he's Batman.
Right? Just because.
And like that, that just. Wait, oh. All right, question for you. What's your favorite superhero?
So we covered this a little bit on I think our episode with the CS podcast. But if people don't want to go watch that video, which they totally should, it has to be Spider-Man. I know that's a generic, like, or at least in today's time, I feel like it's a generic answer. I feel like more and more I hear people going, I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man's my favorite character. So I always feel kind of weird, like, defaulting to Spider-Man, but I resonate so much with Peter Parker and just his whole, like, he's just a normal kid, Like we get a lot of his life, like him going to school and having to balance these responsibilities of not only having powers but having to be, great at academics, having to do, his love life and dating and, just everything that comes with that territory of just being a high schooler. And I don't know, there's something about that I really like. I love his wisecracks. Like, I love Spider-Man's humor. And it's something that I've really appreciated to the point that, like, I find myself being witty because I like Spider-Man. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I love a lot about Peter's character. Peter himself, not just Spider-Man. So just, I don't know. I have a very special place in my heart for him.
Well, there's, how do I word it? There's very different points in his life throughout the comics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Especially depending on who the writer is. I mean, you get, 25-year-old Peter married and teaching as a professor, or, you get all kind of different Peters throughout, just different places in high school, or, some of them where he's really gone on beyond, like he's an older Peter. Like it's yeah.
Well, like there's a really good comic book run, I want to say in like 2005 to 2007.
Yeah.
That it like different writers seem to have tackled it, but it was like there was the Happy Birthday storyline, which is like not older Peter at like in his late 40s, but
Yeah.
it's like he's been Spider-Man for some time, and they even sort of joked that he's been in that sort of same costume for so long that it almost doesn't fit him anymore.
Yeah.
Like Aunt May's talking to like Ben's grave and like, oh, I'm proud of him and all this, but sometimes he's putting himself in danger.
Yeah.
And it shows him like Peter putting on his costume, and he's like pulling the shirt down, and he puts his arms up, and then the shirt like goes up to his chest. But then there's this really good comic. For the life of me, I have the comic somewhere. I'll have to find it, but it covers kind of what happens to villains after their time in the sunlight.
Yeah.
And they use a lesser-known villain called Mindworm,
Okay.
who can essentially project hallucinations onto people.
Oh, that's a cool ability.
Yeah, and he used it to rob a bank, and I think it was just like he made it look like he wasn't even there, and he just strolled in, grabbed a couple bags of money, and ran out.
Interesting. Yeah.
And Peter runs into him years down the road, but as Peter Parker, and Mindworm is now homeless.
Okay.
He's an old man. He's been on the street and apparently is suffering from some form of dementia. And so he like gives him some change. And then when he's on patrol with Spider-Man, he sees a couple of teenagers trying to rob him.
Yeah.
And they hit him over the head with, I think it was like a bat, but it triggers what is essentially a seizure.
Mm-hmm.
But a seizure for somebody who can induce hallucinations in other people.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, so all the teenagers see their, like, greatest nightmares, and one of them, like, runs into traffic. Yeah.
Jeez.
That's
heavy. It's also kudos to the writers. Like there's like a sweet kind of irony there that the man that can give people hallucinations is suffering from dementia. Like that's an interesting, like a poetic end for him in a weird, like, you know what I mean? Like that was a nice touch.
Well, it's like the original version of Mysterio.
Yeah.
He in the story Daredevil Guardian Angel, or Guardian Devil, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
It is explained that Mysterio, after a long career of fighting Spider-Man, fighting, any sort of street level, suited good guy.
Yeah.
He's taken too many blows to the head.
Well, yeah, I could see that.
And B, has been being poisoned over the years from his smoke.
Oh.
That he uses in his illusions.
Yeah.
Apparently is poisonous to him. So now he essentially has severe lung cancer.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And so that's why he sort of puts this whole plan forward to mess with Daredevil. He's like, this is my last dance, my last hurrah.
Yeah.
He's like, just for you. And he like takes off the big fishbowl, and he's bald, and he has like an oxygen tube in his nose.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
And he brings up an interesting point where his whole thing is, theatrics.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And he goes, people remember so much about things that they enjoy. He's like, like a rickety robot firing a submachine gun, and it's like a photo of like the Terminator.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, or an alien preying on a lady in her underwear. He's like, but he goes, how many people are going to remember that a Sphinx touched down in Times Square? And it's like, it shows like him doing that.
Yeah.
It's like, how many people like today are going to remember that even happened? He's like, not very many, man. And what I find hilarious, which most villains apparently do not know that Daredevil is blind.
Yeah, which, I mean, with the way he carries himself, it's like, how would you,
But the kicker is, Mysterio knows this, and he's still doing the theatrics.
The flashy look at this, Matt.
Yeah. Look at these demons I've, crafted out of like animatronics for you to fight. And he's like walking Daredevil through a hallway of photos.
Yeah, look at these pictures.
Yeah. And I'm like, you can't fucking see anything. It's just, and the thing is, all of the problems that Daredevil solves are with his other senses.
Yeah.
Like, there's an animatronic of like his dead girlfriend that's like, you did this to me, Matt Murdock. And then like he like grabs her face and he's like, oh my god, Karen, which is her actual name. Not the okay Karen meme.
Yeah.
But he's like, this doesn't feel like skin. And he like pulls off like latex off of her face and he's just like, wait a second, this isn't
This isn't real.
Yeah. And he even Mysterio hires goons to dress like the Hand. Again,
So he went all in.
Yeah. But then Daredevil makes a point right before the fight even starts. All the ninjas appear and he goes, if it wasn't the Hand, I wouldn't have even heard them.
Yeah, right?
It was just like, yeah, that's a good point. And he's like, they smell like cheap booze and cheaper drugs. It's like, these are just like teenagers.
Random. It went away. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Did you... Oh, God. Did you play Bloodborne at all?
I played a little bit. I haven't finished it.
So it just came through. Like, I just got a notification. Creator of Bloodborne PS1 demake announces Bloodborne cart.
Yes.
What?
I saw the trailer for that. It looks so fucking funny.
I just now...
It's played like serious for a second there.
Yeah, I see that. It opens with the hunter.
Yeah.
Walking up. Coming
like,
when it's ready.
Yeah.
Oh, he's on the... I was curious to see how they would handle the vehicles, because you don't see any vehicles to my knowledge. Like, there are no cars or anything in the city in Yarnum. Are there?
You see like shattered horse carriages.
That's right, yeah. So, just, I don't know. I saw that come through and I was like, interesting. Bloodborne cart.
Dude, I think more like video game franchises need kart racers.
like Silent Hill kart. Or
Oh. You joke, but I just had this image of like Harry Mason drifting his car through like the streets.
Yeah.
He's sideswiping.
Pyramid Head's swinging his fucking...
Pyramid Head's on like a bicycle.
Yeah. It's like one of the... You remember the old big wheel bicycles?
Dude, Rose in the bed at the end of Silent Hill 2 where it's like floating around. Her...
Right.
Oh, no. You can unlock a UFO to drive.
Yeah. If more franchises just... Like, I've noticed, like, Final Fantasy seems to be doing more and more of that with, like, the Chocobo stuff.
Yep.
I've noticed that they've kind of gone in that more lighthearted, kind of sillier direction. And I was like, this is interesting. Or like a World of Final Fantasy where it's almost like Pokemon. You know, you collect the mirages.
Now, Konami, if you're hearing the sound of my voice, on the off chance you're hearing the sound of my voice, if you ever make a Silent Hill racer, put Robbie the Rabbit as a playable character.
Yeah.
That'll be my only character I play as.
What if he's like a secret unlock though? What if you had to platinum trophy like all of the races in order to unlock him, and he's like the final race, kind of like a Crash Tag Team Racing or Crash Team Racing where they had like boss fights. He's like a secret boss.
Dude, I just had a thought of like, don't spruce up the character designs.
Yeah.
Make it like PlayStation 1 era Harry Mason and
Yeah.
PS2 like James Sunderland.
Give me all the polygons.
Dude, what's
or
his
none
name?
of them, I guess.
What's his name? Townsend. It's not Harry Townsend. It's oh no, the Silent Hill 4 protagonist.
Henry
Townsend. There
Yeah.
we go. Oh my god. But have his cards just like the couch in his apartment.
So I'm looking at a picture of Henry Townsend right now, and he looks like light Yagami if he like kind of let himself go.
If we stop like
Yeah, if he
being
decided
well-dressed.
if he decided he didn't want to like it's like light Yagami at like 35 years old when he's done with being Kira. Like
or it's like, you know, fucking Ryu hands him the death note. It's like, you know, punish the wicked, and he's like, nah,
yeah, nah.
I don't feel like it.
Ryu, gave me a beer.
Or he lost it.
Yeah,
Like, misplaced it. I will become the Lord of Death, and he leaves it on a bus.
Yeah.
That like, yeah, what's the word for it? What would suck is like, oh god, dude, Thomas Grady,
Mm-hmm.
the truck driver.
Yeah.
He's just driving he's just Dollface from Twisted Metal Black. He's driving a semi. Oh my god. Oh god, did we just stumble on $1 million idea? And then Murphy Pendleton from Downpour can just drive the prison bus.
Yeah. We could do it. We have the idea. We just need somebody that can actually develop it, because that's not me.
Alex Shepard is riding a skateboard with his brother's face on it. It plays Superman from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Watch me, Ollie.
Have you seen my brother Joshua? He's like,
As he
like,
kick slip, and you can see the face.
He's grinding on the curb down the misty street.
Yeah.
Oh,
There are no daytime maps. It's like Need for Speed Underground 2. It's all at night.
or it's just so foggy that you can barely see the other racers around you.
Yeah.
It's all guesswork. Dude, I want to see that. I'm not gonna lie.
Maybe we reach out to the developer of Bloodborne Kart and see if they make a Silent Hill.
All right, okay. One more? What's one more game series that you would like to see a full kart racer on?
Full kart racer on, dude. You know, well, it kind of it falls in the same vein of Final Fantasy. I was gonna say Kingdom Hearts would be a cool one, but like it does. But you know, maybe it's a space racer. Maybe they're all in gummy ships.
Okay.
You know, kind of an interesting twist on it. But then I started thinking about it. I mean, Square Enix already did Chocobo Racing. Like, you slap Sora's face on there, and it's pretty much the same thing. What else would be a good like kart racer?
I had one and I lost it. Where was it?
What if they did Def Jam?
Oh my god!
Def Jam Fight for Daytona, like
That Fight for Daytona. Oh my god, that's so good! It's so good. I probably just clipped my mic just now, but that was that's such a that's solid. Oh.
Oh man, it's like a combination of like Sonic meets. Didn't they have a Pimp My Ride game?
What? Exhibits like the pit crew.
Yeah, isn't there? Yeah, there is. It was for the PS2 and Xbox 360. I don't know if it was a racer or not. It almost looks like there's a whole map and everything.
So you know that how some arcade games. I'm getting real weirdly obscure here, but you know how some arcade racer games, like the Fast and Furious game that you see at the arcades.
Oh,
if
yeah.
If you double press the gas, you get like a little nitro boost, and your car does like a wheelie.
Yeah.
Imagine that, but it's a jump, but because
like
the cars have hydraulics.
Yeah.
Just and then you just jump over your.
That's how. I don't know if you ever got into the Def Jam games, but in Icon for the PS3, you could like hold R2 and like circle the right stick, and you would disc scratch and like change the song.
Oh yeah,
That's so you do the jump and it like changes the soundtrack.
Oh, or like I saw, or there's like a. Or you just hear some guy in the back just like, breakdown!
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I missed that series. Like, I played a lot of that growing up, the Def Jam. Like, Fight for New York, and then I was really excited for Icon, and it was okay.
See, that's that might be the thing that hurts the most. It's like,
yeah.
I can't wait for this to come out. Oh,
Yeah.
Kind of sucks.
Honorable mention, if like Conquer, like some kind of if he made it into some kind of racing. I was gonna say like Rare, but I was like, well, they did nuts and bolts like Banjo 2.
Don't hurt me like this.
Yeah, but like an old throwback, like you took a bunch of like those kind of like N64 games and made like an All Stars kind of racing. Might be kind of cool.
Have like blocky James Bond.
yeah.
GoldenEye.
You have him, Conquer. You have to do Banjo and
Diddy
Kazooie
Kong
because they
Racing.
did. Yeah, Diddy Kong. You've obviously got Mario.
Do you remember when Project Spark got announced?
Project Spark. No, what is Project Spark?
So Project Spark was for the PS4, or currently is for the PS4, but it's a way to make your own video games with sort of preset.
Oh, it's like Dream.
Yeah,
or Dreams.
but a little more
In depth.
Not in depth, but like more like it has its own art style that you have to use and all that.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
But-
I'm looking at it now. Interesting.
But Conquer is in that game.
Really? Oh, yeah, I
But-
see it. There's a screenshot right here. Yeah.
But the commercial, any Conquer fan, that commercial is a kick in the nuts.
That's ironic.
Because it's like, because it's like, Project Spark, and then
yeah.
Conquer like chainsaws through the logo, and you're like, like it's gonna be some cool shit. And he goes, I think it was like 12 years without a game. Guess we'll have to make our own.
Oh.
What, well, like, but
Yeah.
not like the company's making it. You,
Yeah, you make it.
you at home, you make that game, and I'm just like, oh,
Good luck.
oh.
It always amazes me, like with Dream and those kind of games, like the stuff that people make, and I'm like, man, there's no like I'd pick it up and be like, I might make a couple smiley faces and like you know what I mean. I'd doodle some stick figures, like, but there's no way I'd be making these.
I built this giant dick out of stone.
Yeah,
That's all I've done.
This is my Mona Lisa.
I spent 6 hours on this.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you've got people making a fully playable Avatar: The Last Airbender RPG
Yep.
in there, and you're just like, wow, okay.
And they're like, they're like, this is 20-hour game, part 2 coming soon.
Yeah. It blows me away the stuff that some people come up with in those things. It's incredible.
Why must you hurt me in this way?
Builds character.
Dude, now, have you ever thought about doing game design?
Yeah. So I went to school for radio and television broadcasting, but originally before that, I took 1 semester of computer programming to go into game designing, and man, did the coding and everything, like started like just intro, like learning the theory behind coding, not even really getting into coding, and I was like, brain hurt, ouchie, can't do, like it was so bad.
I'm overheating.
Yeah, I mean, they were like, okay, it was like, okay, well, when you wake up in the morning and you brush your teeth, what do you do? Like, what's the steps? And I was like, you get out of bed, and they're like, no. You have to wake up first. You have to open your eyes. And I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, okay, I open my eyes. I get out of bed. No, you have to sit up. I was like, oh, okay. Okay, well, I sit up.
No, I roll out and I hit the floor.
Yeah, like, it's that in-depth. And it was breaking it down. Like, I'm a big picture guy. I can get detail-oriented, but not that detail-oriented. And so, yeah, it did not work out very well. But I thought about it. And I actually recently kind of dabbled in it again. I played a game called Machiavillain, which is, I guess it's dead now. But it is along the lines of like Oxygen Not Included, RimWorld, like Prison Architect, like that kind of management simulator. So you build a house, and all your little minions are monsters, like they're, vampires, skeletons, whatever. And the whole premise of it is you build this kill house. So you build a house, and then you write letters, like ad campaigns, to lure in victims, and then you murder them in your house using like traps and stuff. Oh, it's fantastic, but it's like there's so much more that can be done with it, and it's just kind of dead in the water with the developer. And I was like, that doesn't seem too hard. Like you create scripts to let the monsters know, like, okay, give them this command and they do it. I was like, but it doesn't sound that hard. So I was like, I'm gonna figure out how to do it. And so I started dabbling in it a little bit, mostly using Unity. And I was surprised at how intuitive Unity is. Like, for not having any kind of really coding background, like the ease to just drop in and just kind of throw shit at the wall and have it work. But that's very much just a side whatever. Like I'll pick it up and like dabble with it here and there, but it's nothing that's like serious.
So how do I write? It's the same way that I write characters for stories.
Okay.
But I have created there's a dumb idea for a game that I think actually has potential. And the name of it might tell you everything you need to know.
Okay.
What does the phrase Schrodinger's gun mean to you?
Oh my god. I don't even know where to begin with this game. Like, I don't know what it's gonna be. I like that name though. That's a good name.
So there's something that I want to make clear, not only in game design but in description. Nothing that you do ever will change that 50% chance.
Okay.
I have the design of the gun in my mind, and I desperately need to like find somebody to work with to help me make that into a reality. But you know how revolvers have the cylinder that pops out? And you have like the 6 actual cylinders. Imagine popping out the cylinder and there's one hole. Just one.
Yeah, you just load a bullet in there.
You stuff one bullet in there and you close it, and from then on it is a 50% chance in which that gun may or may not fire.
Okay.
But here's the kicker. that chance resets every time you pull the trigger.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like, oh, it didn't go off the first time, it's gonna go off the second time.
Yeah, you just never know.
Yeah. And then you can upgrade the gun so you get better bullets. You can change parts of the gun, longer barrel for more accuracy, easier hammer to pull back.
Yeah.
Nothing. You cannot change that 50% ever.
I like it.
You could have a gun that like ends the planet, but it's only 50% chance that gun will ever fire.
That seems like a really good indie game. Like, I feel like that would sell.
I think it has room for a lot of desperate struggles.
Yeah. Well, I think those that appreciate it, like truly understand it and get it, will like it.
Well, like I also had an idea for something to, like, how do I word it? I don't want to make a game series.
Uh-huh.
But I want to continue to make dumb games. But what I want to do is so like the main character from like Schrodinger's gun, which I haven't designed or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But then have them be a boss fight in the next game. But that's an ever mounting thing. Like each new game is now a boss fight in the next game.
That's cool. I like that though. That's a cool way to tie together your world, like your games, and kind of like, oh, okay, these all take place kind of in the same world. Like, I don't know. That's a fun way to do it, even if they don't actually take place. You know what I mean? It's just a cool way to tie together.
Well, it's born from something I wanted to happen way back in like Dark Souls 2.
Yeah.
Because it's like, have you played that?
So I've played Dark Souls 1, the remake. I've played Dark Souls 3. And Dark Souls 2 for me, granted I played it on PC and not on console, so that could be the difference, like mouse and keyboard compared to a controller. It was hard. Like more hard than I feel like it should have been, that I was used to. Like I've platinumed Bloodborne, I've platinumed Sekiro. I've gone through Dark Souls 3, currently going through Dark Souls 1 and Elden Ring, and like, yeah, I haven't really touched much of Dark Souls 2. Mostly because I have it on PC.
Well, the sort of I'm like, I probably won't give away the boss fight, but like the ending sort of presents you with the idea of like what has occurred may happen again.
Yeah.
To somebody else. And what I thought was going to happen, or at least what my brain thought was going to happen, was you are now the boss. Like, you're now the final boss of this game.
Yeah.
And so when you come back around the second time, you have to either fight yourself or somebody else's character.
Now that would be cool.
And then that didn't happen. And I'm like, hey, did this... Like, a buddy of mine I was playing the game with, I'm like, hey, does this happen at the end? He's like, oh, no, it's the same boss. Like, oh.
That's a cool, like... I don't know if I've played a game that's done... Like, that's a... I like that idea. I can't think of any games that's been done in, but it's something that I didn't know I needed until you said that. Like, you level your character up, you do all this stuff, you beat the final boss, and they're like, all right, you're the boss now. So the next playthrough, you have to fight your previous character.
Yeah.
Like...
With the items that you left.
Yeah, all those maxed out. You're like, you one-shot the boss with your previous character. You're like, yeah, now you make it the boss again, get ready to one-shot him. You're like, hey, whoa, wait a minute. What is this?
Well, how do we word? Not in a boss format, but something near that effect happens in Death Stranding of all games.
That's really...
Yeah, other
all
players,
games.
Well, like, other players actively help you.
Yeah, now I've played Death Stranding. I haven't beaten it, but I've played it.
Well,
go ahead.
Oh, see, it's like, I think that's fantastic that there are traversal mechanics that are helped by other people.
Yeah, like the highways and stuff.
Yeah,
and the shelters that they can drop down for you to put your packages.
Yeah, or even something as simple as like, God, I gotta get up that fucking cliff.
Yeah,
and
they
it's
drop
like, oh, there's a rope.
Yep.
It's like, oh, there's a rope there left by, Futbucker 69.
Yeah. Thanks, Futbucker.
Thank you.
You're a
Thumbs
real
up.
one. Yeah. Thumbs up.
Send him a good 300 likes.
I need to hop back into that game. I miss that game. It's so relaxing. Like, it's stressful, but it's relaxing, like in a weird...
So, I'm not sure, because, so you're a father. I'm not. I don't have any children that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
But, playing Death Stranding, weirdly enough, unlocked this, like, latent paternal instinct in the back of my head.
Okay.
Well, because the first time I played through Death Stranding on the PlayStation, I didn't die once.
Yeah. Good for you.
Because I was too busy watching out for BB.
Yeah.
Like, quite literally, like, I'm going to be as careful as I possibly can just in case.
What we didn't know is it's all... it's just one big simulator for, like, when you're in, like, middle school or high school, and they give you the flower baby to take home.
Or the egg with a face drawn on it.
The egg, it's that, just in video game format.
Oh.
That's how they...
Dude. How did you do on that test, by the way?
I feel like I did pretty well. It's been a while. I don't remember if I did that in high school or if it was middle school. I think I passed.
I did it in high school, and I failed like 3 times.
3 times.
Okay. The thing is, we got the egg. We didn't get the flower baby.
Yeah. We got eggs too.
The flower baby would have been the fucking easiest thing ever.
Yeah. I mean,
because it's hard to, miss.
Yeah.
But my dumbass thought it would be great we made like a little egg carrier, and I decided to jump across like the crossing lane lines.
Yeah.
I got to the end, and I'm like, landed it. And I turn around, and my eggs crushed in the middle of the...
It's just shards of pink and blue all over the street.
Yeah, and I'm just like, shit. Like, you have to go back the next day. I'm like, I dropped my baby. Can I have another one?
Can you make me a new one? Please.
And, yeah, it was just... Yeah, so, like, that happened 3 times total. And they're like,
you didn't learn from the first jump?
No.
You're like, damn it, I'm going to make it across this. We're going to make it together, baby number 2.
Well, I think the second time I bumped into something. Like, I bumped into a wall. And just crunch. And then, like, the third time, I think it just straight up rolled off my bed.
Hey, if it makes you feel any better, babies, like actual babies, are a lot more resilient than eggs.
I've dropped mine many times. You bounce back, no problem.
Dude, like, as not that I've dropped my child, but like toddlers and stuff, man, she'll be running, and like, I swear, if I just turn away and she falls down a flight of stairs and I just don't like acknowledge it, she'd get up and dust herself off and run back up the stairs and be fine. Like, it's wild. Like, she'll do some stuff and I'll be like, that would have broken my neck. Like, and she just gets up, like, comes bounding, running around. She's all good, laughing. And I'm like, kids, man. Even as a baby, she would like we'd be walking or something, and like, she'd be learning how to walk, and she'd fall and like slam into a side table or something. And I was like, oh my god. Nah, she'd pick herself up, and I was like, these kids, man, they're made of something different. I was like,
I help babysit once in a while.
Yeah.
Help babysit my friends' kids. And they how do I word it? They're the kind of kids that run everywhere.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But they run with their arms at their sides.
Oh, that's like their whole upper body's stiff.
Yeah. And whenever I see them reach top speed, I'm like, something's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's not
Here we go.
aerodynamic.
Well, I'm waiting for them to just bite it.
Yeah.
And what's funny is they've gotten good at they'll fall, they won't get hurt, they'll just kind of bite the dust, and then they get up and they're immediately I'm okay, and then keep running.
Yeah.
But the other day, one runs a lot more than the other.
Okay.
More hyper.
Yeah.
Thus has more injuries. And so I'm like, all right, I'm on my way to, go watch the boys, and I open the door and I turn the corner and he's got a big an A-shaped scratch on his forehead. I'm like, the fuck happened to you?
What?
He's like, I ran into a door. I'm like, why did you do that? And he's like, I was running.
I love the explanation that kids give. Well, why? Well, I was running. No, I
was running really fast. And I'm like, why? I'm like, this is exactly why I don't let you guys run in the house.
Yeah. You're gonna run into doors or lamps or something.
Yep. Because I get that some kids do it, but I make sure that they don't, which is they'll sit at the table, the dining room table, but they'll sit on their knees.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, to be taller.
Yeah, and so I'm like, nope, sit on your butt, no.
Yeah, put your butt to sleep.
They're like, well, why? I'm like, because I've watched you fall out of that chair so many times.
It's just par for the course at this point.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm going to at least help you.
Yeah.
Help you get closer to the ground so when you inevitably fall,
you can take that hit a little better.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is it's definitely one of those things you mentioned, turning away and then something will happen.
Yeah.
When I say I looked away for a second, it's quite literally a second.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Oh man, what time is it? Look at my phone. Thud. Ah!
Dude, I've been getting ready to walk down the hallway with my daughter and be all right, let's go. And as soon as I heel turn, it's just flam. And I'm like, I just turned around and go, what happened?
What did you do?
Yeah, I'm like, what?
Yeah. I wish I was that resilient.
Yeah, me too, man. I wake up in the morning and I slept wrong, and I'm like, God, my neck.
Well, so years, that kind of slipping on ice where you do the splits?
Oh, yeah.
So I did one of those.
Ooh.
But it was slow, but too far to the point where I can't stop it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I do that in my socks sometimes on the kitchen floor.
Oh. And I'm near a curb.
Uh-huh.
It's on my left side. And I drop and I hit my right knee on the ground. And I start to tip to my left. And I'm trying to put my hand on the ground, but there's nothing there because it's off the curb. And so I just kind of thud into a parking space.
It's like watching a car wreck in slow motion.
Yeah, but it wasn't fast enough for me to get hurt, but I was exhausted after. And I just kind of laid there on my back for a minute, and it's like the end of my shift at my job. It's 8 at night, and I'm looking around. So I'm like, oh, good, nobody saw that, as I slowly try to roll over.
And you lay there and you contemplate, and you're just like, how did I get here? What have I done in my life to bring me to this point?
I'm on my back near the flower section. What happened? Yeah. You ever, when you were younger, you ever take a tumble down a hill?
Oh, yeah. We used to do it for fun.
I used to do it to try to impress a girl I like.
Yeah. Why else would you
Didn't
do it,
work.
right?
Yeah, that's how you do it. Look how much pain I can endure.
Throw yourself down the hill. It's like skate physics. You just ragdoll.
that like GTA 4, like curl up in a ball and like kick your legs.
You get to the bottom, you stand up, dust yourself off.
But I remember just like, hey girl, I like, check this out. And then I look up and she's already like walked away. Like, cool, nice.
But all the guys around were like, dude, that was so cool.
Well, I get up and like the guy closest to me was like, you dork. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
It hurted.
Or it's just that like, I know.
And you stand there and you wonder, you're trying to like discern which hurts worse, your back, your legs, or your pride. She walked away. And just like,
and the answer is all of the above.
oh, yeah, equal.
All of it hurts. All of it. Yeah.
Did you ever go through the Jackass phase?
You know, it's funny you say that.
I feel like most guys.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But I actually had a pretty good way of going about that. Not like, I'm going to hammer a nail through my foot or something like that.
Right, yeah.
What it was I had one of those razor scooters.
Oh, man, yeah.
And the thing is, if you hit grass on one of those, you stop.
Oh, yeah. There's no going.
And so you get to top speed, and then you run into your yard, and then you go sailing over your handlebars.
Yeah.
Now, this is a pull, but did you ever have a green machine?
Green machine.
It was a tricycle low to the ground meant to drift.
Oh, I don't think it was called a green machine, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. It may have been a green machine. I don't know. But I know what you're talking about.
The one I had was marketed as a green machine because it was like a radioactive green.
Yeah.
And I lived on a hill, and my neighbor's backyard was on a steep decline.
Uh-huh.
Like from their house down to like the forest was just nothing but a big hill.
Uh-huh.
So I crashed my green machine on that. I'm like, I'm going to try to drift down the hill. And then the entire thing rolled with me inside of it.
Oh, no.
And so the green machine goes sailing. I go sailing another direction. And I end up going faster than the green machine.
You beat it to the bottom.
Yeah, so I land with a thud at the bottom. I'm like, all right, at least that's over. And I roll over, and it's coming down the hill at me.
No.
Thud.
I used to have. Did you ever have the bike? I think it was like a Schwinn or something that looked like a motorcycle. Like it had the fat tire in the back.
You know, I did not.
It was. It was so impractical to ride, but man, did it look cool as shit. Like,
dude, to this day, I so badly want a bicentennial bike.
you talk about like the big wheel, like the 1800s, like the giant wheel in the front. Yeah, that's what I was talking about in the Silent Hill game earlier. That'd be what Pyramid Head rides on.
Dude, I so badly want one of those.
I just don't know how you get up on it.
Well, if I remember, the spoke has there's a peg that you step on.
Oh, okay.
And then you sort of like hop on it like it's a horse.
And then you use the pegs to grind on, right? Like a BMX bike.
Start doing flips.
Yeah. They did that in Jackass, didn't they? I think Bam Margera was on the bike. No.
Ryan Dunn.
That was it. Yeah. I remember them doing that.
And then Johnny Knoxville took a header and slammed into the concrete.
Yes. Oh man.
Yeah. I just, ow.
That's what, like a 4 or 5 foot drop.
Straight onto asphalt.
Yeah.
Like, what do you... See, and this is a wild, this is the extreme of that, but that's why I don't like skydiving.
Well, I've got a lot of reasons why I don't like skydiving, but I guess that can be added to the list.
Well, heights is one thing, but it's that, and it's the ever-present, like, there's the ground.
Yeah.
And it's coming to meet you.
Yep. And if your parachute doesn't work, you guys are going to be real acquainted.
Oh, dude, I got recommended a video years ago. It's like, guy survives 4,000-foot fall.
Dude, stuff like that blows my mind. Somebody just splats into the ground like that, and I mean, obviously every bone in their body's broken, like, but it's like they survived. I'm like, how?
Can you imagine the horror of not, like, sure, it's horrific being the guy who survives.
Yeah.
But also being the guy who finds the guy who survives.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, think about being the guy that survives. You've already made peace with that. Like, you're like, all right, well, I'm dead. Like, you've already gone through the motions in your head, right? You've hit all the 5 stages of grief, you know, on the way down, and you finally hit acceptance, and then you hit the ground, and then you wake up in the hospital.
Oh. Or wasn't there's a story about that. A gentleman tried to jump out of a helicopter to take himself out, but they were over water, and he survived.
Oh.
So he's like, all right, this is it. Slam. And then, ow!
Yeah.
That that makes me so uncomfortable, the idea of, like, slamming into water at that speed.
Yeah. I was basically hitting concrete.
Now, if I could fall out of a plane like the end of Crank, where I'm fighting somebody on the way down.
I forgot that movie existed.
I am unable to forget that film exists.
That's Jason Statham, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That was basically Transporter on drugs.
Well, then there's like Crank 2 High Voltage, where there's a kaiju fight.
Oh, I never even saw that one. The one was enough.
I honestly like 2 just a touch more.
Yeah.
Because it's somehow more frantic.
I don't know. Well, kaiju fight, I guess. I was like, I don't know how it could be any more frantic. You remember Push?
Yes, with Chris Evans.
Chris Evans, yeah. That was a good movie. Oh, well, I remember it being a good movie. It may not be a good movie. I was younger when I watched it.
I like to think it was a good movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, like, there's a, how do I write it? It feels like that movie started in the middle of, like, a book series.
Push?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, there's already so much going on.
Was Dakota Fanning in that movie? She was the girl, right?
I believe so, yeah.
I think she was the girl.
Like not the love interest, but like the
girl like
he's got to protect.
Yeah, that's what he has to protect her. I was thinking for some reason she was like, I barely have glimpses of that movie. For some reason, I was thinking she was protecting him or something. But yeah, you're right. I think he has to protect her or something. Like, I don't even remember the plot really. You know, I just remember enjoying it, watching it. Speaking of Chris Evans, did you ever watch Losers? The Losers?
I have seen parts of it.
That's one that I occasionally just pops into my mind, and I'm like, man, I remember that movie. It's Chris Evans. I think Jeffrey Dean Morgan was in that movie.
Well, the problem it's one of those films where, like, I'll have the opportunity to watch it, and then I'll be like, I'll come back to it.
Yeah, I'll watch something else. It was enjoyable. I remember liking that movie quite a bit. It's underrated, I think. I don't know. Maybe I go back and watch it like 10 years later, and maybe it's just absolute dog shit. But right now,
garbage.
Yeah, right now it's underrated. And you can quote me on that.
I'm waiting to see, like, reviews. The Loser's seen as the worst film of all time.
Yeah. Worse than Citizen Kane.
What's funny is some of these ratings I'm seeing, like, 4 stars or 4.5 stars, and then some of them are like 2.5 stars.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Losers sitting at a solid 6.3.
On Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah. I forgot he had that goatee, like that facial. That is Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Oh, I forgot. Man.
Is it all coming back to you?
No, I didn't realize Idris Elba was in that. Zoe Saldana. Let's see. Jason Patrick.
Now, I've yet to locate a person who has seen this film, and maybe you can help me.
Okay.
Have you seen the film I Am Number 4?
I know exactly what you're talking about. I think I've seen the intro. That's it. I don't know if I really, which is crazy because I remember reading the synopsis and be like, man, that sounds cool. Like, I want to watch that. And then I think I caught it on TV one day and started watching a little bit of it and then just never finished it. Like, I think I've seen the intro and that's it. I know Timothy Olyphant was in that.
I feel like the name of the movie ruined it for me.
Yeah.
Because, like, the commercial, like, I remember seeing the commercial in theaters, and it was like, oh, this looks promising. And then the main character was like, I am number 4. I'm like, that sounds fucking stupid. Wow, that's a bad name for a movie. And then I'm like, yep, not going to watch that. And I'm staring at the critics' consensus thing on Rotten Tomatoes, and it says, and I quote, "It's positioned as the start of a franchise, but I Am Number 4's familiar plot and unconvincing performances add up to one noisy derivative and ultimately forgettable sci-fi thriller." Wow.
Hey, all I'm saying is I Am Number 4 sitting at a 6.1. The Losers 6.3. So.
You know what? Fine. Whatever.
I Am Number 4 has a 4.2 rating on Apple. On iTunes.
Oh my god.
Damn, 4.6 on Amazon. Oh, that's the book.
Wait, oh. Now, I'm glad it doesn't feel like it's totally gone away, but I'm glad that there's been a drop-off of the concept of the young adult novel.
Mm-hmm.
Because I get a little bit tired of, like...
Nah, man, we're keeping it alive. What are you talking about, a drop-off?
The one special teenager cliche is alive and well. You're the best because you were born like this.
I'm solely keeping that genre alive. What are you talking about? That's all I buy. That's all I consume.
I'm rewriting. I'm making a book that's like a mixture of like Twilight and like the Hunger Games and a little bit of Divergent. Like just kind of.
But it's gonna be great. Like it's gonna be groundbreaking. It's not even gonna be like those. Like it'll be familiar, but not really. You know.
Or as I heard it described once, I heard a story of a lady who went on a date, and the entire time the guy was like, "Yeah, I'm writing this book. It's about this guy. He's different. You know what I mean? He's just different.
He's just different, man. You just wouldn't understand."
Yeah, and I'm just like, I've seen enough books and movies. I've read the entirety of that Twilight franchise.
So I hear the books are much better than the movies. I will say that. That being said, I probably wouldn't read them. Just based on the movies.
It's a low bar.
That's what I've come to understand. Even my wife, like, she's a big Twilight fan. She's like, yeah, the writing's not very good. Like, she's like, I love it, but it's not very good.
Well, like, how do I word it? Bella's a terrible character.
So it's not just Kristen Stewart's portrayal.
No, she's just dumb. Like, unbelievably so.
Yeah.
My boyfriend left me. Better purpose. Like, you know what? I'm going to make terrible decisions. Not because I'm sad, but because I somehow believe that this will bring my boyfriend back to me.
You just don't get it, man.
I'm going to ride this motorcycle in excess of 50 miles an hour without a helmet and no prior training on a motorcycle, and then I'm going to jump off this cliff into the fucking ocean. Why?
It's called drama, Frez. Drama. It builds suspense. It all leads to something. You just don't get what true love is. Oh. And then somebody... Okay. After reading the books, and I saw some of the movies... Uh-huh.
I love that people... Like, it's becoming more and more of an argument now, which is great. But Jacob imprinting
on the baby.
Bella and Edward's daughter.
Yeah.
That is the creepiest shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, but then, like, I do like how the movie is like, what the fuck? But like the book, it's like, oh my god, you know, I imprinted on your daughter, and Bella's like, okay, and then just kind of leaves it there.
Yeah.
Why, Stephanie Meyer? Why did you write that in there? You could have easily... She was in some of the Twilight movies, man.
Was she?
Yeah.
I didn't realize... Wait, which ones?
She's at the coffee shop in the first film, and then she's at Bella and Edward's wedding. As herself.
Trying to pull up a picture of her.
She, like, everybody's like, yay, you're getting married, and then there's Stephanie Meyer just, like, waving to him. Like...
Oh, okay.
Like,
that's her in the... I think that's a scene from her in Twilight, in the coffee shop.
Yeah, she's, like, getting her coffee before Bella or something.
Yeah, interesting.
I don't get it when that happens. Like, David Cage did that.
Yeah.
In Indigo Prophecy.
Like Fahrenheit?
He wasn't...
I'm just making sure we're talking about the same thing. Like...
Okay. I thought you...
No. I just wanted to make sure. That's the only Indigo Prophecy that comes to mind, but then I was like, maybe there's a movie or something that I don't know about.
No, for a very real second, like, you piece of shit. but yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
Literally during the tutorial level, a 3D model of David Cage walks out and he's like, hello.
Oh,
my name's David Cage. Welcome
that's
to my game.
right. That's right. I forgot about that. God, that was such a good game, though.
Oh. Sure.
Dude, I liked it. I'm willing to go to bat for that one. Which, granted, I played it as a kid, and then I went back years later, and I was like, man, I remember this game, and played it, and like it's like the controls are, but I don't know. I enjoyed the ride.
Okay, here's the ultimate test, though. What even happens in that game?
Oh man, so it was a good game.
Oh boy, did I enjoy playing it.
It was just fun. Like the gameplay, like while the controls were kind of wonky, I'm trying to think. Granted, it has been a while, but you're swapping between the different characters. I don't know. It was bold, okay? We wouldn't have Until Dawn if it wasn't for Fahrenheit or Indigo Prophecy.
I feel like we would have.
Yeah.
Because those are by two different companies.
Oh, no, I just meant that it's almost in that same vein, like that movie game. Which, granted, I say that, like, I like Until Dawn and things like that. You know what I'm not a big fan of? And this might be a hot take. I don't really care for the Telltale games.
Me either, because your choices do not matter.
Yep. And the gameplay is just kind of eh. Like, I haven't found a Telltale game that I've well, I take that back. I did enjoy Tales from the Borderlands, but that's just because I like Borderlands and the humor. But even then, like, the gameplay was not very exciting.
Well, like, somebody brought up, like, specifically the character Kenny from the Walking Dead games. I watched an entire essay about Kenny and why people hate Kenny.
Okay.
Because I despise Kenny from the outset, but it's for differing reasons than the action, like the documentary had put forth.
Yeah.
I hate Kenny because he's a coward.
That's fair.
But he tries his best not to act like one. But when he does show his cowardice, it puts other people in danger.
Yeah.
Like Lee. He left Lee to die about 3 different times in the first season. And also, like, advocated for killing Ben. Like, yeah. Like the shitty teenager.
Yeah.
Like, you're holding Ben's hand as he's dangling off of a fucking bell tower. And Lee's like, come on, man, I gotta pick you up. And Ben's like, let me go. And then Kenny's up above you, like, shouting down, yeah, let him go.
Hey, shut the fuck up, Kenny. Like,
drop him.
You stay out of this.
But then somebody brought up that in season 2, he exhibits, like, abuser behavior.
Yeah.
Where he'll take violent and sudden outbursts against his own people, against strangers, against the undead. But then he'll turn to Clem and go, I was in the right. Right, Clem? You still like me, don't you? And, like, that is the most effed up thing to do to, like, a 12-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, I caved that man's face in. But I was in the right. Right, Clem? You
right,
believe
Clem?
me, right? You believe me, don't you? It's just, but, to quote one of my favorite channels, which sadly does not exist anymore, the people exist, the group doesn't, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
The Super Best Friends. They were given that choice at the end of season 2, where it's was it Kara and Kenny fighting, and you have to choose between them.
Okay, I'd never made it to season 2.
Oh shit!
Oh no,
I'm sorry.
it's dude. It doesn't bother me. I'm not gonna. I highly doubt I'm gonna go play
it. Due to some of your choices, you were literally like pointing a gun at both of them.
Yeah.
And like, if you watch, I'll have to send you the compilation.
Okay.
Because it's like the highlights from each season.
Yeah.
But they, without hesitation, shoot Kenny dead. Like, they don't even blink. It's like, which one do you want to shoot? And like, Kenny.
As soon as the choice pops up, flip over, pull the trigger.
Yeah, and you can hear Pat just go, I could not push the button fast enough. And as the story's being wrapped up, he goes, finally, we killed the biggest villain of the Walking Dead franchise. We killed the main villain.
Kenny.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Fucking Kenny. but I don't know. Like, I fucking hate Kenny. I hate him so bad. Every time I see him, like, when you're playing that game, he's like, oh, we were best friends, right, Clementine? I'm like, fuck you, Kenny. Stop talking to me.
Get away.
And, like, this is, like, there's a moment where you have to essentially kill his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And they live in this world, this zombified world they have for some time. They know how all of this works.
Yeah, as they should.
And it's not like she got bit and then Clem just shot her. It was like tried to save her. She still turned into a zombie and then shot her.
Wow.
And then the whole time he's just like, Kenny's like, how dare you, Clementine? It's like, what? Even Clem's like, I did the right thing.
Yeah.
She would have killed you. And she's like, I can't believe you, Clementine.
I can't believe you did what we've all been doing this entire time.
I can't believe that you did what I did
Yeah.
to that old guy in that freezer
Yeah.
with a salt brick. Also, apparently somebody looked through the frame data, like frame by frame of that moment.
Uh-huh.
Apparently he wakes up right before Kenny crushes his skull.
Ooh.
Like his eyes shoot open.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah. You know, I'm not gonna lie. For a minute there, I forgot we were recording.
Yeah, I kind of did too. I forgot.
Because we are now 2 hours, 21 minutes in.
Has it been that long? I guess
Yes,
it has.
it
We
has.
started around 8. Yeah.
Well, I suddenly had the worry of like, oh God, are you on a time limit? Do we need to go?
Nah, I'm not really doing anything. I probably need to eat dinner at some point.
Nothing important, consuming food.
Yeah, nothing that I need to do. Nothing majorly necessary.
I'm imagining you sitting there and you're just like skeletal.
I'm fucking Pierce Brosnan at 98 pounds.
Oh, thank you, Trey. Thank you so much for giving me the idea for the thumbnail for this video.
You're welcome.
Oh, Barnabas, 98 pounds and dying.
Yeah.
That said, if Barnabas was 98 pounds, we have bigger problems.
Yeah, I was about to say, he might be 98 ounces.
I'm just going to go ahead and write that down real quick. Barnabas, 98 pounds, and I'm going to put all caps, dying, and underline. National. Because I was thinking,
Yeah.
I'm like, what would the thumbnail be on this video? I'm like, oh no, that's the one right there.
That's it.
That's the winner. I gotta find like a photo of like a frail old man to put Barnabas's head on it. I did some research I also enjoy puppets, like you mentioned
Yeah.
earlier. But I also love stop motion animation.
Oh, yes.
And I was doing some research on the film Kubo and the Two Strings,
Okay.
which apparently holds the record for largest puppet in a film. And it's a skeleton puppet, and apparently I'm trying to find it now. But apparently it's like, I want to say it was like 40 feet or something.
Oh my
like that.
God, 40 feet.
Oh, excuse me. The skeleton in Kubo and the Two Strings was over 15 feet tall.
Still.
Yeah. And this is for a stop motion animation film in which the main character is like 4 or 5 inches tall. Like,
oh, here he is. Here's the guy standing next to him.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's a big puppet.
Yeah. Although in terms of puppetry, I don't think anything could match the mechanical complexity of Audrey 2. Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that was the name. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's named after the girl Seymour likes.
So, excuse me, slight confession. I've never actually seen Little Shop of Horrors. It's on our watch list.
I Can't believe you.
Yeah, I mean, I've wanted to see it. It's just one of those things that has always been kind of on the, like, it's never been like I have to watch this.
It's good. It's really good.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. So Josh and I do another little side podcast called Who Hasn't Seen That, where we watch a bunch of movies that we haven't seen that we should have seen by now, like The Shining. Just saw The Shining for the first time like a month and a half, 2 months ago. Saw Blade Runner for the first time like last month. Yeah. So Little Shop of Horrors is on that list. There's a list of about 200 movies.
What did you think about Blade Runner?
Dude, okay. So I wanted to give it 5 stars out of 5, but I was like, man, it's only our second one. Like I don't want to give my 5 away like that. So I gave it a 4.5. That was a very, very, very strong 4.5.
I have this image of like all right, every review that we give, bump it up another half.
Yeah. So, no, but I really liked Blade Runner. Now, I will say we were supposed to watch the theatrical cut, but we ended up watching the final cut, which came out in 2007.
Good.
Yeah. Good. So, I wanted to watch the theatrical to make it more true to like I feel like that's what I should start with, having never seen Blade Runner. I should watch the theatrical version. But this, the final cut was free on Netflix. So I was like, hey, I watched the final cut.
So, pop quiz.
Okay.
Without looking it up, what book is Blade Runner based on?
Oh, do androids dream of electric sheep?
Yes. Good.
So that's another thing we try and do with that podcast is like little bits of trivia, and like if it's written, like who wrote it. So I'll go through and I'll be like, okay, written by such and such, based on this book by such and such, or directed by such and such, starring this actor, this actress. Like I try and include that kind of stuff, and then little bits of trivia. For instance, Roy Batty, that whole all these memories, like tears in the rain, that was improv. Like that was
Time
yeah
to die.
Yeah, like that was like, I think that's a cool little bit of trivia. Same with The Shining, was one of the first movies to be shot to use the Steadicam, which I think is a cool little piece of trivia. So we try and include stuff like that too. But yeah, so we're going through like all these different movies. The next one we're going to watch is 7, because I've never seen 7, but Josh has.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, he goes, you're going to love it. He goes, I just know your personality and how much you like, because I really enjoy like film noir.
See what you got to do now is you watch the whole film and you don't say anything throughout the whole film. And then when the credits roll, Josh will turn to you and go, hey, what did you think? And you're like, that's all right.
It was, yeah. I tuned out. I checked out about halfway through.
I was looking at my phone.
Yeah.
No, he looks over and you just pretend to be asleep.
Oh, is it over?
What's up?
Oh, man. That was pretty good. Chris Tucker was great, and so was
Jackie Chan too, man.
Yeah. Fucking Rush Hour.
Doing all the stunts. That was crazy.
Rush Hour 1.5.
I mean, hey man, if you ever need a third.
Oh, absolutely. So it's supposed to be like, basically what we scored on is, if like how a movie makes a list is either both of us haven't seen it or at least one of us hasn't seen it. And then, so we set it up. So we start the first 10 minutes of the podcast. We sit down. I give a little bit of like, here's the synopsis of the movie. Here's who's in it and when it released. And then we give predictions, like based solely on like the synopsis, because we've obviously never seen it, like what we think's going to happen. just because it's fun, like coming back after we watched it, be like, man, I can't believe I said that. Like, then we hit a little break and then come back, and that gives people time. Like if they've never seen the movie or they just really like it and they want to watch it, it's a natural stopping point. They can go, okay, and they stop the podcast and then go watch the movie and then come back and listen to us. Cause we want it to be like, you know how like when you leave a movie theater and you just have to talk about a movie.
Oh yeah.
That's the vibe.
Well, I try to I try to keep my thoughts to myself at least until we get to the car.
Yeah, well, that's very courteous of you.
Well, because I don't want to be that guy that's like, walking out in the theater like, I can't believe everybody died. That's crazy.
That's true.
But dude, I had somebody do that back when the first Avengers movie came out.
Oof.
But it was a lie. Like he was doing it as a goof. And so, like, me and my dad are standing on the line. We're like, oh, my God, the Avengers. Yeah. And this group walks out. And one guy goes, man, I can't believe Thor dies.
Wow.
And he's, like, looking at the line. He goes, or does he? I don't know.
I went and saw Rogue One. I don't know.
well, my dad was pissed. He was like, I swear to God, if that fucking happens, he was like, I'm going to find that guy. But no, I like there are very few movies I haven't seen at this point.
Yeah, I kind of figured that might be the case.
Yeah. Well, the problem is the minute you said Blade Runner, the Rolodex immediately spun up. I'm like, oh yeah, I read the book, and then there's also a bunch of references to it, and specifically Deus Ex Human Revolution.
I read that in part of the trivia thing, like looking up some stuff. There also,
oh really?
Yeah, there also I saw. It was the day we watched Blade Runner and went to go record everything. They announced that they're doing a Blade Runner TV series on Amazon.
I believe it's called Black Lotus.
Is that it?
I believe so. There's also a Blade Runner video game.
Oh, I didn't know there was a Blade Runner video game.
Fun fact about that Blade Runner video game is a point-and-click adventure, apparently one of the best of the best, but also it randomizes who is a replicant.
Oh, that's cool.
So, like, every playthrough, you could be a replicant, your friends could be a replicant, the people you interact with could be replicants. Who knows?
We don't.
But the thing is, you also have the option to void comp test everybody and also shoot everybody.
Nice. Speaking of movie video games, and you're probably going, oh, Lord. Did you ever play any of the Riddick games? Like Escape from Butcher Bay or what is it, Dark Athena or something?
Did I have some long lost brother that just like what's going on right now? Because I love those games.
They're incredible, aren't they? And they tie into at least Butcher Bay is like ties into Pitch Black. Yeah.
Today, Johns, you get fucked.
God, I love Riddick so much. He's such an underrated character.
Like, what are the odds? Because I've been trying to find those games on PC for a minute.
Do they? I remember playing it on Xbox.
Apparently, the original version of Butcher's Bay and I think Dark Athena came out on the PC, but like just in disc form.
Yeah.
But in terms of actually finding it, like I don't think it's on Steam or anything out there.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't. You could buy it on. No, that's Xbox. I was say you could buy it on Amazon. Oh, I didn't realize there was a developer's cut.
Fun fact: the company Starbreeze Studios that helped make those games also made The Darkness.
What? Did they really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
If you go back and play like Butcher's Bay and then play like the first Darkness, the lighting's like, oh yeah, this is totally the same engine.
Yeah, but I don't have my magic eyes in the darkness. I never got a shine job.
But now I have these two squid-headed things
right
coming out of my shoulders. The games are weird, but the comic is even weirder.
was his? Oh, what was his name? Was it Jimmy? Was that what was the main character's name?
Jackie.
Jackie. Jackie.
Come to the dog.
Yeah. That's such a good game.
Must not, will not. Dude, those scenes are great.
Those little, the little darkness guys always reminded me, like their sense of humor always reminded me of Overlord, like the minions. God, that's an underrated game. I played the hell out of Overlord, and then the second one when it came out, but mostly the first one.
Like, like they for Darkness 2, they kind of like they made it a little bit more comic booky in look, but they also did a lot more weird metaphysical stuff with it.
Yeah.
Like the Darkness 2, the game is on Steam.
Yeah, I have the Darkness 2 on Steam.
Do it, play it, do it.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Give him. I love those games. How did we get here? Oh yeah, Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah. Chronicles of Riddick.
I need to go back and beat Butcher Bay, but I beat Dark Athena.
Okay, man. I liked Butcher Bay more than Dark Athena, which I don't. Or from what I remember now, it's been a while. That subject, like when I growing up, I liked Kingdom Hearts 2 better than Kingdom Hearts 1, and then I played the Final Mix when I was old enough to really understand it, and I definitely like Kingdom Hearts 1 better than the second one, but I remember liking Butcher's Bay more. I don't remember why. I feel like I don't know. I just like the atmosphere, like being in the whole, like being in the jail and everything was really cool.
So,
excuse me.
I haven't told the story on the show yet.
Oh, okay.
Because it happened very recently. So the blades that Riddick uses?
Oh yeah.
The Ulaks?
Uh-huh.
I very recently embarrassed myself at my local shopping mall.
Oh no.
Okay. So, at my local mall, they have a store where they sell kind of like your incense holders and, wine bottle holders and like little statues of dragons.
Yeah, and then like knives and other trinkets.
Yep, the whole back wall is nothing but swords and like recreations of like anime katanas and
I know what you're talking about.
This.
I've been in a store like that.
Yep. And they've had it there for years, and I've been so tempted to buy them. Tempted day in, day out. Unbelievably so. They have a pair of Ulaks there for $70.
Yeah.
And so I'm standing there, staring, like I usually do when I'm in that store.
Yeah.
Staring at those Ulaks, debating whether I could justify it to myself to purchase them.
Yeah.
And I can't because they're $70.
Nah, do it for yourself. Top Guy Summer.
Self-care is buying knives.
Yeah. Specifically the Ulaks from Riddick.
Then I gotta put my welding goggles on, shave my head.
Right. I used to wear pool goggles growing up. I'm not gonna lie. Like, pull them down like Riddick.
Yeah, I feel like one of us is an escaped clone of the other.
I'm glad somebody relates.
I'm like, yeah. But a guy behind the counter comes up and he asks me, "Hey, how's it going? Are you looking for anything in particular?" And I go, "No, I'm just staring at those."
Yeah.
And he picks them up and he's holding them upside down. Now, for those of you at home who may not know what I'm talking about, Ulaks are a handle handled blade in which the blade goes up over the top of your knuckles and comes down into a point. He was holding it upside down, so the point's going up. And so I'm like, my brain's like, no, that's not how you hold them. They're upside down.
Incorrect, sir.
I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, hey man, you're holding them upside down. You got to hold them the other way. He's like, oh yeah, really? And he flips them over. I'm like, yeah, those are Ulaks from the Chronicles of Riddick series, and da with Vin Diesel, and then I realized like I am talking way too much.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of like, and yeah. And the minute he walked away, I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of the store. I gotta go.
I can't believe I just did that. Why have I done this again?
I'm like, why, Rolodex? Why must you hand me this?
Now I can never come back here. Now I can never have them. I've wanted them all my life, and now I can't go back in there to buy them.
Dude, the last time that happened was at a GameStop where I went there so regularly they knew my name.
How you doing today, Fresman? Good. How are you?
Well, no, like I'm leaving. I'm like, have a good day. And they're like, hey, it's Fresman, right? I'm like, I'm like, I do come here too often. I gotta go. Like, all right, you have a good one. And I just like
bye.
Opened the door and ran.
You sprint to your car.
Don't look at me. But yeah, I like even that happened like a week ago, and I'm still like, oh, that's yeah.
Why did I do this to myself?
Then watch, I'm gonna go back there, not to that store, but like to the food court, and some guy's like, hey, weren't you that guy?
You're the Ulak guy, aren't you? Nope, you must have me confused with another pink and blue masked fellow.
That's crazy. You're crazy. You sound insane right now.
Yeah. Is it hot in here? Is it? I sweat.
Not gonna lie, I'm getting clammy just thinking about it. Oh.
It's so bad. It's so bad. It's not even that you can't go back to the fucking store. You can't go back to the mall. On the off chance that you run into them in the food court or in like a Journeys or something.
In the parking lot.
I imagine it's like that scene. I can't even think of the cartoon now. You're like, you hop out of your car and you're like whistling like this tune. You're swinging your keys, and he's like, "Hey, you're that Ulak guy." And you turn around, like, don't miss a beat, still swinging your keys, whistling. Open the car door, hop in, drive off.
Oh, like Abe and Simpsons, where he walks in, puts his hat down, turns around, puts it back on, and walks out.
Yeah. And you just drive away.
Oh.
And then they're just standing there, huh? I wonder if that was him. Like,
man, that guy was weird.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bad feel right there. Oh, that's gonna great. Now I'm gonna have like nightmares about that tonight. My fever dreams of, you're Fresman, right? You're that Ulak guy.
Just wake up in a cold sweat. You're just drenched.
No. It's the mental equivalent of like going to school in your underwear.
Yeah. Some people are dreaming that they're taking a math test half naked. You're up there. You're the Ulak guy, right?
Am I holding this the right way? And it's upside down.
Just the echo. Am I holding this the right way? Way. No!
Tossing and turning.
Yeah.
No. Chronicles
Riddick. Blade goes top. Over your knuckles. Ulak.
Mark Duplass.
Yeah.
Yeah. The worst part is, I think I could use the Rolodex for some good.
Yeah.
If I went to like a trivia night or something.
Oh, dude, you'd be killer at a trivia night. It'd be like playing with cheat codes on. It would.
Who wrote "Do Android's Dream of Electric Sheep" and I'm just in the back, Philip K. Dick.
Everybody, they're groaning. Who invited this guy?
We're gonna need you to leave.
Yeah.
You're making us look bad. He's looking up on his phone. It's like, I don't even have my phone with me.
Yeah, they make you, every time you come in, they make you set your phone down on the counter. Like,
They have to pat me down.
you have to leave it with the host.
Oh, no. It's in a glass box on the counter.
It's fucking padlocked.
Like, oh, my God. Like, that is... Yeah, that's accurate. Yeah. Well, one of the earlier times I discovered that I had a Rolodex was back during what was it, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2.
Oh yeah.
Well, because they had a trivia section.
Did they? I don't remember.
Yeah, they had like a little trivia thing that you could answer. That was just like Avengers.
Yeah.
Marvel based, and somebody else was playing the game, and it's like, what's the name of the plane that the Avengers use to get to different locations? I'm like, Quinjet, as I'm like looking away from the screen. And it's like, yeah, Quinjet. I'm like, oh, that's new.
That's a superpower. Is this how Peter felt when it just clicked?
Is this what it's like? Can I join the Avengers? Because like the reserve Avengers, that bar is low.
Yeah. You're the Avengers that they send out to like kids' parties. They request Thor, and it's Fresman.
Can you make us balloon animals? No, but I can tell you everything you'll ever need to know about the Doom series.
Like, can you make us balloon animals? You're like, balloon animals first established in 1822. Like, you just start rattling off facts.
Fun thing about the invention of the balloon.
Yeah, and they're just, they got that one little kid, and he's just like, we hate you. Like, that just one loud, obnoxious kid,
But then with any luck, there's that one actual like nerd kid that is paying attention. I'm like, see, he gets it.
You're his favorite hero. That's why he grows up and joins, like, he becomes a superhero.
Oh, dude, now I want that to happen. Is there some kind of superhero team I can join right now that'll just...
If not, you can make your own.
Fun fact, apparently I'm not sure about the popularity of it now, but apparently we do have superheroes.
Really?
Not like, flying through the sky.
Yeah.
But, the problem is one guy kind of ruined it for everybody else.
As they always do.
But in like I didn't think it was going to go down that way. So there used to be a guy named Phoenix Jones.
Is he MMA?
He did MMA for a while.
I think I know what you're talking about. He would travel around. Was it Portland?
Seattle.
Seattle. Okay, I knew it was somewhere out in the west. Ish.
But he dressed up in a full costume, and would sort of patrol, breaking up drunk fights.
Yeah, I do remember that.
But the problem is, apparently, he started selling like narcotics.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
But like in his superhero costume, so he's like, "Hey, I'm here for justice. Also, you want some weed?" And then it's like, "You want some Vicodin and codeine?" It's like, "Oh no." The thing is, there used to be whole superhero teams.
Yeah.
And I believe some of them are still around. I can't, very much confirm it. But
yeah,
I saw an interesting thing where it showed like San Diego Comic-Con, where people dress up as Spider-Man, whatever.
Oh yeah.
But then it cuts to like a mile and a half away from the San Diego Convention Center, where there are people in real superhero costumes, like not
like their
Spider-Man,
own. Yeah.
Yeah, they're their own creation, and they're handing out food and water and supplies to the homeless.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And not gonna lie, thought about doing it myself, but no. Well, with how how nuts people are around here,
Yeah.
I wouldn't and it's not even like, how do I word it? Not even like, oh, I'm gonna interrupt a big riot or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like from person to person, the amount of crazy people. Yeah.
Yeah. What would your superhero name be if you were to make your own, like if you were to become a superhero? Would you just stick with Fresman, or would you actually?
So, you know what? This is interesting because I haven't told anybody on the YouTube spectrum about this.
Yeah.
Like even people I talk to consistently, I haven't brought this up.
I'm glad I asked the hard-hitting questions.
But I get yeah. Now I'm under the microscope, but I wanted to the name would have been Panda.
Okay.
And I even had a costume figured out. Not like one I could put on, but like a design.
Yeah.
Down pat. And I even had an idea for creating a device that was meant to go through doors in case of a fire.
Ooh, okay.
And essentially not, how do I word it? It doesn't function the same as like the Power Fist from Fallout.
Yeah.
But, so instead of the knuckles shooting out, you would have it up your forearm sort of toward the elbow, but when you hit something, it would push like essentially these large suspension springs,
Mm-hmm.
like lessening the blow to your arm and putting all the weight into the door.
Yeah, I got you.
So like if the door is hot, you can't open it, and there's no time, you just punch your way through the door.
You just blast right through it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I seriously considered this for a while, and I wanted very badly to do that.
Yeah.
But then just sort of realizing, like, I'm not bulletproof.
Yeah, it's like Kick-Ass.
Well, not even that. Like, I could go out and fight whatever.
Yeah.
But the problem is the majority of people aren't, unarmed.
Yeah, yeah. That's why you wear plenty of Kevlar, man.
Yeah.
Batman's not bulletproof. Well, he is because of his armor, but...
Yeah. They even made a point in Arkham Knight. It's like, don't aim for the bat on his chest. That's where their armor's the thickest.
Yeah. Man, it's such a good game. That whole series was a lot of fun. But yeah, anyways.
Oh, yeah. But it's weird talking about it here. Wow. Like when I mean I haven't talked to anybody about that, like straight up haven't.
Well, you are the end all be all, sir. It's your channel. You could cut this whole portion of the interview out if you wanted to, and then nobody will ever know, except for me. You can't delete my memories.
Just in case a panda themed superhero starts showing up and
is that Fresman?
Which will be even more confusing now. Oh god, it's Fresman. He's Panda, but he's also. So does that mean if you pull my mask off, it's just another mask under it, or what?
Being masked.
You pull off the hood, and then it's, another hoodie.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. What have I done?
They pull it off. It's just Hugh Jackman's face stapled to yours, like in Deadpool.
Oh my god. Well, like, yeah. All right, I'm gonna turn this around on you.
Okay.
If you were to become a costume vigilante, what would your thing be?
So, funny you should ask that.
Trey.
Yeah, that's it. How did you know? So when I was a kid, I've never told anybody this. I would create my own little like comics and stories, and I had a superhero called Cool Dude. He wore like a backwards cap, like sunglasses. He looked like he was straight out of the 80s. But his whole superpower was being cool. So I don't know. I might have to tap into that. I might have to be Cool Dude.
So how does he stop like a bank robbery? Does he just walk in and he's like, I'm cool, and they're like, oh shit.
Yeah, he could. Well, no, he could like fly. Like I don't even remember all the powers I gave him, but like he could fly. I do remember that. God, what else? I wonder if I could dig those up and find them. I bet my mom still has those somewhere. She doesn't throw anything away. What else did he do?
I was saying, what if what if she treats it like some great secret?
Yeah.
Hey, do you have any of my Cool Dude comics? And she's like, oh, you're looking for that.
Yeah. Huh? It's nothing like I remembered it. It's like some weird twisted, like, I'd have therapy. Yeah. Like,
I will become the Cool Dude.
Yeah. It unlocks some primal urge inside of me, like that has
You're
been dormant.
Agent.
Yeah.
There is no Trey, only Cool
Dude.
See, the thing is, that's how I think of Josh and the Red Demon.
It's just we actually have played around with an idea called the Wanderer, and it's Josh. He he like messes his hair up, like gets it all like crazy, and then it's like black face paint across his eyes like a raccoon, and he just dresses like just crazy, like in an animal skin or something, like, and he's the Wanderer. And so like we the whole premise is like a couple of friends come home one day, like maybe from the movies or something, and like it's Josh in the kitchen, like sitting, like standing, like crouched on the counter, dressed as the Wanderer, like like tearing into something, like eating like a bag of like Fruit Loops or something, like just chowing down on it like an animal, or like he's eating out of the trash. And we're all like talking, yeah, man, that was a great movie we saw. We flipped the light on, we're like, oh my God. And he's just like, he like freezes and like quickly glances at us and like scuttles off the table.
See, the thing is, that's precisely how I imagine the Red Demon.
Just instead of in red, he's in black.
And the thing is, I'm so tempted to, because I kind of want to get like yours and Josh's like sign off on this.
Yeah. That
I want to put the Red Demon into my writing.
I don't have a problem with it. I don't think he would, but you'll have to ask him.
But what I wanted to do was not have it be just a costume, but almost like a possessing force.
Like, what is it, like Spawn?
No, like, not like, oh, he died and came back.
Oh, okay.
But like you know how most films, when it's like, oh, it's a demonic possession, they start acting like creepy.
Yeah.
It's like, what if they got possessed and just started acting like a freak, like just like pissing in a corner. But then, like, Trey, the point in which things happen inside the Rolodex is well out of my control.
It's a whole other world in there, man.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe I could do something with the Red Demon. I'm like, and here's what his costume would look like, and here's how he would behave, and like, yeah, it. Like, you know the old depictions of the devil where it's like a guy in a red skin
He's
suit?
in like the like which you would like your old long johns with like the butt flap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like that with like a pinned on tail.
Yeah, like a pitchfork, like a plastic pitchfork.
Yeah, and like kind of like black leather boots, and I am undecided on gloves.
Yeah. I feel like personally no gloves, but I don't know, maybe they'd add to it depending on like what they look like.
Well, I was thinking either like sort of those, how do I word it? Like either the sleeves go up all the way to the hand,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then it's nothing, like no gloves.
Yeah.
Or have like the sleeves, but then like a longer black glove.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the idea of no gloves. But because the idea of like a possessing force, it's like, well, I didn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Red Demon did it.
That wasn't me. That was Patricia.
We found your fingerprints at the crime scene though, and you're like, I didn't do anything.
Yeah. What? I was asleep in my bed.
And like I want him to be a villain because I need to start writing more villains.
Yeah.
But I think it would make it more hilarious for me if the Red Demon doesn't have a goal.
He's just chaos. Just chaos
just
incarnate.
Just wreck as much stuff as possible and like go from there. And like I had an idea, so I think I brought up to you guys the idea of Jericho.
Yes, I remember us talking about this. Yeah.
The bar on the edge of existence.
Mm-hmm.
I want the Red Demon to be one of the only people to cheat their way out. Well, because you have to make a bet to get out. And, like, what if you just cheat your ass off and make it out of there?
If anybody can do it, it's the Red Demon.
Yeah. Like, I wish, like, how do I word it? The version I made in that photo that you liked earlier.
Yes.
It's so close to what I want. Like, but the thing is, I don't want like the whole head cowl.
Yeah.
I want like the tight hood with just the face.
Oh, okay.
So you can have like the pointed like beard.
Yes. He has to have a pointed beard.
But like I want him to essentially be Satan with none of like the actual supernatural abilities. So it's madness and chaos, but there's no like, would you like to make a wager?
Yeah.
What have I done? What has the Rolodex done? Why can't I stop it?
It's become sentient. It's taken on a life of its own.
Oh, Lord.
There is no more Freshmen. There's only the Rolodex. We are Rolodex.
After a point, you're just going to see like a live action video of my room, and it's just my brain in a jar. No, there's a literal Rolodex just like sitting in my chair. Yeah. Oh my God. But I think, oh my God. We you and I, Trey, we've covered
a lot
of ground.
I was going to say we've gone in depth on a lot of different topics.
We've just crossed 3 hours, and question: have you been recording this entire time?
Oh yeah.
Good. Because I keep checking mine, and I'm like, oh, please God, don't let this be for naught. Even though it was a fantastic conversation.
Yeah, I've got it. I've basically been sitting here with it just in front of me so that I could make sure it doesn't stop. Then I'll just kind of like not pay attention to it, and then periodically I'll go, oh yeah, and then I'll check back in and go, wait, is it still moving?
Well, like I keep clicking over to like Chrome to like look stuff up and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then every once in a while I'm like, oh yeah, we are recording.
Yeah. We're not just hanging out.
Oh. Which we got to do at some point.
Absolutely. We'll have to play some games.
Yeah.
Get into some...
Or play some games, watch a movie, fly down to South Carolina. Who knows?
Who knows? The world is your oyster. But I'm allergic.
But I'm allergic to shellfish.
Dude, that's one of my favorite voices to do.
That was good. I liked it. I want more of that.
Dude, it's Marvin the Martian.
Oh, okay. God.
Where's the kaboom? There's supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
That's pretty spot on. I dig it.
Thank you. And it's also very close to the dumb lion from Looney Tunes.
Probably is the same voice actor.
Yeah, but you
Okay,
have to like
yeah.
slow it down. Like,
That's a whole lot of lumps.
yeah.
Core memory unlocked.
What have you done?
That was my sleeper
Yeah.
agent code. I turned back into cool dude. That was the secret. That was the password. Was the lion from Looney Tunes.
You know what? Now that I know what cool dude essentially looks like, that might be a new wrestler in the WWE 2K16.
Do it. That's the superstar lineup right there.
New challenger, Red Demon and Cool Dude. Wow. That's a winner right there. I think I might do that tonight.
I'm glad to give you something to do.
I have work to do. I have homework.
So, just out of curiosity, so you said Spookyou, you're next. Were you gonna make Barnabas, or were you?
I was either thinking about making you.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Like you said that, and all the possibilities started running through my head. I was like, what is he gonna make?
So, there is an idea for Barnabas, but the problem I run into is that there's no fuzzy costumes.
Yeah.
There's one, but it is a gorilla suit. And I've considered turning that thing a lime green.
Yeah.
And then just having like a weird big puffy head on top of it.
With like an afro or something for his...
Well, they have like these kind of cartoon character-esque heads they can put on them too.
Oh, okay.
And I thought about putting like a basic shape and then putting like stickers of a nose and eyes.
Oh my god.
And then just have it do like the Red Demon already has like Kane's intro.
Yeah.
And he also has a giant cape that he wears.
Of course he has a cape. Yeah, because I noticed he doesn't have one in the picture here, but yeah, he needs a cape.
Yeah, he's got a giant black cape because I'm like, red, black complements red pretty well.
I pictured a black cape too.
See what I mean? Like, am I the clone or are you the clone?
Yes.
It's the seventh day. It's just like I don't know which. Now, real quick. Now I'll put it up on screen for those of you at home. I'm sorry, future me, for giving you more work. But here, Trey, I have a photo for you of the middle of a match.
Oh my god. Those horns are incredible.
Well, they didn't have the horns I was looking for.
Yeah, they're still, though. I like them.
Well, I wanted them coming out the front and then, like, kind of going back.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, you know what? These will do just fine.
This is great. I love the ref squaring up to the Red Demon too. At least that's what it looks. And then you're just your whole body language looking down is just incredible.
Staring at Justice.
Yeah.
Just like, oh god. What has he done to you? Now, what you're not seeing here, and it's in the other photo, is that the Terminator was in this match. And he won.
Okay.
it was a Money in the Bank like ladder match.
Yeah.
And while I was getting my ass kicked by the Red Demon, it's like, we have a winner. I'm like, wait, what?
Well, I'm not done. I'm not the winner yet.
And I look over at fucking like Terminator 2 Arnold just holding the briefcase over his head.
Hey, how do you get that?
And the best part is that's official DLC.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's funny.
I say I didn't make him. He was there.
Okay, because I mean, like I looked at it, I was like, God, that's like spot on. I was like, you did some work going in and
No.
Okay.
They also have Terminator 1 version, which actually looks like spectacular.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I have yet to make more characters. But I think Cool Dude might be
the next one.
Sixth.
He was red and blue too. I remember he had a blue hat. The hat was blue, if that helps you. And then
So
like
a red shirt.
Yeah. I think it was a red just like t-shirt. I don't think he had a jacket. And then sunglasses.
I have this image of like a red t-shirt with just the word rad across it.
Yes. I love that.
He has a skateboard, but he doesn't know how to kickflip.
He does, yeah. He barely rides it. He just carries it. He's like, you ever see the video of the guys? You know how like you like run and jump on the skateboard? You know what I'm talking about?
That one where he just
keeps running. Yeah. He just keeps running.
Dude, if I could get an intro of Cool Dude like trying to do a kickflip down to the ring,
He just eats it.
But oh my god! Wait, okay. So what are we? Oh my god, we are at 3 hours and 11 minutes. How did we get here?
Very methodically. Not at all. Very chaotically.
Yeah, I was saying like we've lost the road at this point.
Yeah, we're veering off into swamp territory. I can hear the banjos.
We're at the what's it called? We're just parked at the cabin in the woods.
Yeah.
And then got out of the car and just started running into the woods.
Yeah. Just past Crystal Lake.
Taking a swimming across it.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think with that, since we can both go get something to eat.
Okay, yeah. It's only 11:20 here.
Only.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not that bad. And so, but no, I'm getting hungry myself. But I think with that, we will call this here interview to a close.
Okay.
And hopefully, my next target is one Joshua O'Gillespie.
The Scottish Prince.
Exactly.
I was telling him today, I was like, you should be expecting a text or something from Fresman soon. He's like, oh, okay.
I mean, I've tried.
Well, he's been out of town and sick and like 100 other things. Yeah, so I haven't talked to him much in the past 2 weeks.
Has he been out wrestling?
Wrestling? No, I hadn't done a whole lot of wrestling here recently. He's been painting and real estate stuff. Yeah.
That'd do it.
Yeah.
But with that, I think we would call this here close. At least this here recording. Thank you, Trey, for coming back on and letting me subject you to the Rolodex again.
Oh, dude, anytime, absolutely. Thank you for having me. I like I said, you I got really excited because you were like, "Hey, can I run this idea past you?" And I was like, "Oh, okay. What's this?" Like, I didn't know what to expect. So when you were like, "Can I interview you as Spookyou?" and I was like, "Oh, dude, absolutely. It's my pleasure."
That said, I do have another idea to run by that's actually been stuck in my head for a while.
Okay.
But I don't want to tell the people at home just yet.
Deal.
Yeah. But with that, where can people find you?
So you can find me all over the interwebs at Spookyou on YouTube. That's Spookyou, all one word, all lowercase. Fun fact, Spookyou is all lowercase. You can find me on Twitter at Spookyou Videos because Spookyou was already taken and I couldn't get it. And you can find me, I don't use Instagram, but if you want to follow me there, it's also at Spookyou Videos. Or if you want to come hang out and see what other projects and things I'm doing, you can find me at the CS Podcast.
Nice. And do you have a video on your Spookyou channel that you're particularly proud of?
Oh, that's a good one.
For some reason, I thought you were going to be like, no.
Yeah, no.
Nobody should go there.
Don't. You've been warned. No. So a lot of my latest are really like I'm super proud of. So if I had to pick one, it would be My Job Requires Me to Clean Up Roadkill and Hunt Cryptids. It's the full series. It's an hour and 42 minutes, so it's a lot of content there for you guys to watch. Follow up to that, probably I Live in a Town Called Beaver Falls, which is a full series as well. Both of those are really, really good. I need to redo it and make it into a series. My absolute favorite that I've done though, and it's a crime. It should have more exposure. Not my videos, but the author themselves, is we never should have tried to break into Mrs. Hudson's garage, and that's written by Rose K. Morgan, and it is phenomenal, like just a great read, and I was so thankful she let me do that. But that's 5 separate videos. 6 separate videos, so I need to actually sit down and make my ass do work and compile that as a single video so that you guys can not have to search for all that, like click for next parts. But yeah.
For a second there, I thought there was going to be a heel turn of like, you know what? No, my videos should have more views.
Yeah, you know what? No. It is about me. Yeah, let's start channeling my inner Barnabas. I am the most important thing here.
But with that, thank you so much, Trey, for coming on. This has been a blast.
Absolutely, dude. Seriously, anytime. Just hit me up. Even if we're not doing an interview, we'll just hang out and we can play some games or just shoot the shit.
Yeah. Shit requires shooting.
It does.
But with that, this has been Demasked. My name is Fresman, and I will see all of you next time.